Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
I didn't think I'd end up staying up for all 18 innings. There was a certain point, I would say in the 15th, where I thought, you know what, maybe I'll just go to sleep, and then I'll just look to see who won in the morning. Who cares? Mariners aren't playing. Everyone's heart is broken. Maybe I didn't even think I'd watch the World Series, and then I kept watching Bump. I couldn't turn away. I absolutely could not, because then part of me was like, okay, well, wait, what do you mean Kershaw's coming out of the pen? You got Will Klein, who's going to be up here, who's pitched like 40 pitches ever at most, and now he's going to go through however many, what was it, ended up being 3 or 4 innings? Absolutely, I can't turn away. I simply cannot turn away. It was everything. It was everything.
This was how crazy it was for me. I joined Lofa in his dart league last night, and we start playing as the game comes on around 5 o'clock. There's 11 rounds in this dart league. 11 rounds were done, and the game wasn't finished. It's in Bellevue. I drove home to Monroe, watched even more baseball, stayed up until midnight, hooting and hollering. My neighbors probably hate me. I had a full day watching this dang game, but it was worth it. I
don't know if you saw this tweet. It was that, so granted, the World Series didn't start exactly at 5. I would say it started at like 5:08, 09, around there. But that being said, the Monday Night Football game between the Commanders and Chiefs started 15 minutes. This is from Tony X. The Monday Night Football game started 15 minutes after the World Series. The Commanders played the entire game, then had a 45-minute delay, and were halfway home, and the World Series was still on.
Crazy.
And it didn't end then, by the way.
Crazy.
That was still during, I think, the 17th. So they didn't end up landing back in D.C., but we're mostly on the way home.
Let me read this to you real quick.
Yes.
All right. So I got this on Instagram. It will go down as the Will Klein game. All right, on a super team with $300 million plus worth of contracts on the field, the last guy in the bullpen, making league minimum, who had been released by 3 teams, started the year in the minors, and left off the playoff roster until the World Series, was the last pitcher who won that game for him.
I'm sorry. I know for so many people still it is painful to watch. And maybe you can't tell who to root for. I personally have found myself rooting for the Dodgers, maybe out of spite. It is what it is. That's a great baseball story. And if you watch the game, Klein ending both of his last 2 innings was thrilling.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm biased because he looks a little bit like my sister's boyfriend.
He does.
He looks like Dennis from Queens. But there's just something about him that I absolutely fell in love with. And I was like, how do you not? It's one thing to watch the biggest names in baseball show up. Oh, and by the way, they did. Not only Freddie Freeman with a walk-off in the 18th.
Little ready, kicks, steals. Swing and a high fly ball, center field. Varsho back, near the wall, at the track, gone! Freddie Freeman! A home run to center field. Freeman walks it off in the 18th. Oh, Freddie delivers.
Freddie, please send us all to bed. We appreciate it, but just a fantastic ending. It was also Shohei Ohtani as one of the biggest names, if not the biggest, getting on base 9 times, which sets a new postseason record. But you're right. It felt like maybe the story, despite those 2 things, despite Freddie with another walk-off, despite Shohei setting a new postseason record, it was thrilling to watch Will Klein do that.
That's baseball for you. Baseball will give you a 31-year-old rookie who came out of nowhere who will perform for you, and then it'll give you a Klein. And then at the same time, it'll give you the greatest baseball player of all time in Ohtani stepping up. And Freeman. Freeman's been in L.A., 4 years? 3 years? And he needs a statue already. Like, give that man a statue right now. I've never been that clutch. As clutch as Freddie has been in the World Series, I've never been, maybe in like beer pong in college, I've been that clutch. That's about as close as it gets.
That's unbelievable. Someone said, just imagine if there was, I don't know, a Jonas Brothers concert in the middle of it. That was good. Good one, 860. So a couple records from last night. 6 hours and 39 minutes for this game. Second longest in MLB postseason history. Dodgers have the longest game, by the way, which is a whole 40 minutes longer than that one, 7 hours and 20 minutes. Imagine that game went another 40 minutes. No thanks. I'm done. I've already experienced 18 innings once. Now again, over it. 19 combined pitchers used, most ever in postseason history. Also a new postseason record, 37 combined runners left stranded. Felt a little ALDS Game 5 in that way, where you're just going, I can't stop turning away, because it's not that it's boring baseball. It was two very different versions of that game. The first was thrilling, back and forth, some defensive highlights, runners getting also thrown out with some bad base running decisions. And then you had a back and forth with runners being driven in. Dodgers strike first. Then they add on. Alejandro Kirk with a 3-run home run to take the lead. Then the Blue Jays add on. Then the Dodgers respond. And in that version of the game, I ended up writing down as a note for the show, I don't know if the Mariners could have hung with these two teams. And it's not that I don't think the Mariners could be here and could beat the Dodgers. It's not that I think that. I think that could have happened. It's just that they don't have quite the same offense. Like the Blue Jays just felt like gnats, just pesky. Yeah. The way they hit and attack the strike zone is just, they're never ending, and they pile on, and it can be suffocating. And I thought that that's the direction this game would end up taking. And then Shohei Ohtani, a hero, once again, ties it up, obviously goes into extras. And then it was a different game. And then we're watching a game where it's frustrating baseball. You're getting some action. You think that each inning is going to be the last one, and it isn't. And runners left stranded. And that's the part where I thought, well, I don't know. I think the Mariners would have ended this one. I started convincing myself. I don't know. I mean, I think Leo Rivas would have drawn a walk there. At that point,
Lucas, it's anyone's game. Once you get around inning 12, 13, it's anyone's game at that point. And I never felt confident that the Dodgers were going to get it done, because obviously we just went through a series with the Blue Jays, and you know what they're capable of doing. But no, that is the longest playoff game in Major League Baseball history. They played 2 games last night.
They sure did.
2 games.
Someone said, is anyone going to bring up the Marine layer in Dodger Stadium, keeping in the park multiple home runs? I don't know if it was Muncy. There was at least 2. Teo might have had another, where I think everyone in the stadium thought, oh, finally, it's over. Yeah, it felt very October in Seattle.
Yeah, if you're familiar with Cali, it gets cold in the morning and cold at night, and the air gets real thick. Like, there's a reason why I can go all day wearing a hoodie and it's like 75, 80 degrees outside, because in the morning when I'm walking to school, I got the hoodie on. Then after practice, I got the hoodie on. The marine layer is real. And then Dodger Stadium is elevated a bit over downtown. So, yeah, there were a couple of times where I thought that thing was gone, game was over, and it just didn't happen.
Okay, I have 2 questions. Number 1, you think the Dodgers get it done? You're a Dodgers fan, so maybe you'll say yes. I'll bring in an unbiased source here, Curtis, not an LA native. You think the Dodgers get this done, 2-1 series lead?
I think they eventually win the series, but the Blue Jays have been hanging around in every game so far, obviously winning game 1, and last night they had their opportunities to win. I still think the series goes back to Toronto, but I think the Dodgers do get it done.
Okay, let's explore.
Shohei tonight, baby. Let's go.
Now, oh, God, I loved his press conference interview at the end of the game. Was it Verducci? I can't remember, being like, yeah, I'm going to go home and go to bed now. I need to get in bed. Yamamoto ready to go in too. Just absolutely amazing. I feel like we watched 1,000,005 things that became part of baseball lore and baseball history last night. Let's get to my Mariners question. How have the first 3 games, maybe most especially this one, shaped your thoughts about either how close or far the Mariners are? So it could be how you think they would have done. It could be thinking, I think they could beat this version of the Dodgers. Like, I'm mad all over again. Or it could be thinking, you know what? In watching the first 3 games, they need more contact. They need something else. How are you feeling about the Mariners? How are you finding it, the 3 games, shaping your thoughts about this team?
Well, last night was a Mariner kind of game. Those are the games that the Mariners hang around and try to figure out. But I still look at the Blue Jays and look at the Dodgers and feel like, man for man, they're probably outnumbered a little bit. 2 or 3 guys, I feel like. But that's what is great about 7-game series, is that you never really know. A team gets hot, especially in baseball, man. A team gets hot, a pitcher's not hitting his spots. You're putting the ball in play, runners in scoring position. Anything can happen. I still feel like they're not on the level of these 2 teams. But I feel like if they were to make it to the World Series, they have a puncher's chance,
Yes.
right? Sometimes you close your eyes and clip the chin and drop the giant. And I think the Mariners would be that type of team.
That's exactly how I feel, so I'm not even going to repeat it because you summarized it so well, Curtis. We'll just keep it going as like a little mini round table when we start this. How are you feeling in these 3 games? I started out being like angry in game 1 because I was still mad at the Blue Jays, but I have found myself thinking of the Mariners throughout these 3. How are you feeling about this team with now 3 games into the World Series?
Yeah, I've looked at how the Blue Jays have hung in there against the Dodgers so far, and obviously your mind just kind of puts the Mariners in the Blue Jays' shoes, and it does sting a little bit because it's like the Dodgers have not ran away with this series yet. Like, it is still very much anybody's series. And as we saw, the Mariners gave the Blue Jays a heck of a fight, came down to the final 8 outs of Game 7 for it to be decided. I don't know if the Mariners would have dominated the Dodgers in the way that the Blue Jays did in Game number 1, but looking at how the Dodgers have played over the first 3 games,
Yeah.
I feel like the Mariners could have at least maybe stolen one of these games.
I for sure think so. I think that this game, maybe I'm being crazy here, and maybe this isn't absolutely the bias of watching one team for 162 plus as opposed to any other. But I think that the Mariners, in that moment when Clayton Kershaw was throwing nothing but balls,
Man.
I was like, I think the Mariners draw a walk and walk in a run there.
Yeah.
I do. But maybe that's me being biased and me thinking like finding some way that the Mariners would have won. I will say in these 3 games, most especially if this one would have ended in the 10th. Let's say this one ends in the 10th and the Blue Jays were to add on 2 runs top of the 10th and the Dodgers couldn't respond. Let's say that happens. I think I would have left thinking there's still an offensive gap. I felt like this team, the Mariners, took such a big step forward offensively. I think Cal can hang with anyone. Julio can hang with anyone. Like, I think those are 2 players that 29 other teams would take in a heartbeat. But that doesn't mean that you're completely well-rounded offensively, and that gap, while smaller, is becoming more noticeable. I still feel that a little bit, though. Even though this one kept going and 37 runners combined were left stranded, I still found myself feeling that there's an offensive gap that needs to be closed, not with slugging, but with contact.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think the Mariners can slug with the best of them, obviously.
Yeah.
Right? But it's the contact. But last night's game was a Mariner type of game. I was literally thinking that. I go, Mariners could hang with these guys right now and what they're doing. But obviously you didn't have the opportunity to do it because you didn't handle your business. But it does show you just there's levels to this, right? You got Shohei showing up in the biggest moment that he can. You got Freddie doing his thing. Mookie did absolutely nothing yet this season. Well, he had a hit, but didn't do much. But this team was still able to get it done. You got Kiki Hernandez who showed up. Like, you look at the bottom of the order for both of these squads, and there are a couple guys who showed up and contributed. That's what's missing from this ball club. That's the biggest outlier for me when I look at the Dodgers in Toronto, the bottom of the lineup, and can you get some clutch performances? I mean, Clement had a hit. Jimenez had a hit. You got Hernandez, like I mentioned. Call at the bottom of this thing. Like, it's no matter who is up for both of these teams, you feel like the game could end at any moment.
Yeah, the Dodgers starting pitching does. It's absolutely amazing. I'm shocked that when they had to go through the entirety of the bullpen, that was the whole knock, right? Was like, oh, this is one of the worst bullpens, and worst is always relative, that the Dodgers have had. It didn't matter in this one. The Will Klein story is perfect. You got down to the last guy, and he ended up being the hero of the night. I feel like, so Christian, the 206, said, I don't know, I think we're as good, if not better than the Blue Jays, just different styles. We need to assert our style to win. Definitely different styles, and the Mariners are undeniably good. Only one team in your league went further than you did. And you have to at least take that as, it's not a win. I think Cal's right. It still feels like a failure, but that's something to be proud of.
Yeah.
That said, if you could somehow combine the pitching that Seattle got in the ALDS, that's... The pitching fell apart in the ALCS, and that's where I'm kind of looking at it going, I don't know if the offense can keep up. But
yeah, that's where I disagree with the 425. Says Shohei's not getting on base 9 times against our pitching. He was walked 4 times. So
yeah, and drew another one.
Yeah,
so it's,
I mean, and
also, why wouldn't Shohei
He's the best
He's
in the
phenomenal.
game.
He's got 8 home runs in the postseason.
If there's anyone who's going to do it, it's this guy. Anyone else, I'd be like, nah, probably not. But Shohei, like last night, the 3-for-3 home run game obviously was incredible. But this one last night just felt different for me with Shohei because of just the clutchness. Like, you needed that 3-for-3 home run game. Obviously you take your home runs where you can, but the clutchness of this one just felt completely different to me, and put Shohei on another level. I'm already on the boat that he's the greatest of all time. I'm gonna say it. I'll stand by it. It's all good. But seeing him do something different last night was fun to watch.
That was unreal. Again, reach base 9 times, new postseason record, and the most of any player in any game, including regular season, since 1942. He's unreal. It's stupid. It's like someone made a cartoon baseball player and then he turned into real life, and you're like, wow, this should be happening in like action movies. It's absolutely unbelievable. But
nuts.
Yeah, absolutely crazy. All right, let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news with Bump and Stacy.
Headline number 1, the Seahawks' next opponent, the Commanders, were blown out by the Chiefs 28-7 on Monday Night Football. What's the real headline?
I never thought I'd say this, but if the Chiefs keep this up, they'll catch up to Daniel Jones and the Colts.
That juggernaut.
They can't be stopped.
Go catch him.
They can't be stopped.
Listen, we know this about the Chiefs, right? I mean, people were doubting them for a little bit in. It's okay. You start the season off 0-2. You got some questions. Rashee Rice isn't there, but as soon as the band got all back together, they're starting to look good again. And as long as you got Pat Mahomes, man, you got yourself a chance. They'll win the division.
Yeah.
They'll get into the playoffs, probably conference finals, but who knows from there.
I was listening to Yahoo Sports NFL show, and they were talking about Jonathan Taylor, and they were debating whether or not a non-quarterback, a classic sports debate that's become now, could a non-quarterback ever win MVP? Could that ever happen? And when it came to Jonathan Taylor, the host made a really interesting argument, which is, okay, we know that there have been running backs that have gotten to 2,000 yards and not won. Derrick Henry, right? We know that there have been running backs who have gotten, a large amount of touch, let's say 18 touchdowns, and still didn't win. So either you have to set a new single-season touchdown record or you have to get well over 2,000 yards to win. Like, that was kind of the baseline argument. And then the host of the Yahoo Sports podcast said, well, a really, really interesting thing that's happening right now is that Jonathan Taylor is, I think, first or second league-wide in total points scored. The vast majority of the time, numbers 1 through 10, 11, 12 are kickers. That's just how the league is, especially with kickers going for it more from 40, 50 or more yards, right? Mm-hmm. The fact that Jonathan Taylor is not only top 10 in scoring, but like number 1 or 2 right now is something that hasn't happened. I think he said in
LT.
Yeah.
With Dane Thompson.
19 years? No, it couldn't have been that long. Oh, God.
Remember,
is
LT
it?
scored like what? 25, 30 touchdowns?
So when you look at it that way, as in this player is accounting for not just the majority of his team's points, but a point leader in the NFL, that's something that hasn't happened in a very, very, very long time. I thought it was an intriguing argument. I don't think it's one that that MVP voters are really leaning into. I think they do look at yards and they do look at overall touchdowns, but that's a crazy stat.
My man has 3 games with 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
That's wild. My fantasy team thanks him.
Headline rewrites.
Headline 2, Freddie Freeman adding to his lore last night with another World Series walk-off home run as the Dodgers beat the Blue Jays 6-5 in 18 innings. What's the real headline?
There's a benefit to being there before. I had a funnier one and one that felt a little bit mean with this one, but I ended up going with just a general observation that I have about the benefit of being in these big moments, because again, I found myself thinking of the Mariners a lot, not just in games 1 and 2, but in this one. And I think that as heartbreaking as this end to the season was for Seattle, there is a benefit in someone like Julio Rodriguez being in that moment, chasing every single pitch, having it end in heartbreak and thinking, I'm not going to do that again. Or like, I have learned a lesson. sometimes you're not bigger, or you don't let the moment be bigger than you because you've been there before and you've experienced it before. So again, credit to Freddie Freeman, really cool moment, absolutely meets the moment. But I kept thinking, sometimes it takes reps for this to be something you can do.
Freddie reminded me of my sophomore year in college on A Street in Pullman, if you guys know where that is, A Street Apartments. And me and my buddies were on a bender, and we played flip cup for like 5 hours. It got so bad, we put on Bulls jerseys. I was B.J. Armstrong. My guy was Scottie Pippen, and we had a pitcher of beer. And at the end of the day, we won. We went on this marathon. We won, and we took a picture holding the pitcher of beer.
Like it was your
champions.
trophy?
And I had such a clutch moment. I'm like, this is good as it gets. Freddie doing this in the World Series for the second year in a row. He's got a moment. Is something ridiculous, man. He has 3 sons. I think about his sons watching their dad do this.
Is that your beer pong moment? Is that the most clutch moment? You've been a professional athlete and a college athlete. Is that quietly the most clutch moment you've ever had?
Nah, I caught a 2-point conversion against Oregon to win it. That's probably my clutchest moment.
But the beer pong win.
But the beer pong was right beneath it.
Was it like there was 1 cup left and you sank it?
It was like just all. This is back when we actually put beer in the cups. Now they're smarter. They just put water in the cup.
Yeah.
But yeah, switched that thing, and they hoisted me up like the champion I was.
What? No, on their shoulders? You sank the last one?
Sank the last one. Boom.
Wow.
Push your boy up.
That's iconic.
It was.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 3, Vikings quarterback Carson Wentz will miss the rest of the season after undergoing shoulder surgery. What's the real headline?
If only there was a sign. This guy was laying on the ground this close to crying in that primetime game against the Chargers. I don't think anyone is shocked by this news. It looked like he was duct taped together. Of course he's having shoulder surgery, and of course his season is done. What do the Vikings do now, though?
He's a gangster for that, man.
Yeah.
You saw the pain that my guy was in, fought through it. What do they do now? They play Max Brosmer. That's who they play. And this guy is 6'2", 217 pounds. Went to University of Minnesota. He's a local. So that's what they do. They play Max Brosmer.
Would you trade for a veteran?
I'm going
Kirk Cousins?
Well, here's
back?
what's
Kirk's
weird about
gonna
Kirk
start this
Cousins,
week, right?
exactly, is that Michael Penix Jr. has been a bit banged up. So I don't think that I think it's got to be like, do you trade for Russell Wilson? And at that point, you're really just kind of adding a veteran body.
That's probably the move, honestly. Russell
What
Wilson.
other veteran quarterback would be traded? There's so many banged up quarterbacks right now that you aren't going to deal any backup for the Bengals. You're not going to deal any backup for
Gardner Minshew. Where you at? Find him.
He's with Kansas City.
Go get him. Gardner Minshew. He is the Fitzpatrick of this generation. He
They're
can
not
fill
gonna
in a
deal
void for a
him.
while.
They want to be absolutely safe there, and they know that they have a deep postseason run ahead of them. I think it's got to be Russell Wilson. I would absolutely say Kirk Cousins were Michael Penix Jr. not just hurt, but I think it has to be Russell Wilson.
Maybe like Andy Dalton. in
Andy Dalton
Carolina.
looked
He's playing this week,
horrible
too.
because he played last week and looked not good. I think the Panthers put up a total of 9 points.
Yeah, it's hard out here for a quarterback.
Look at one of Cleveland's many backups.
Go get Deshaun.
Shador.
I don't think Deshaun Watson's going to be playing this year, but
Or
Shador
ever.
maybe.
Or ever.
Forever. All right. Well, sticking within the theme of not just the NFL, but of the Chiefs beating the Commanders and closing the gap between them and the Colts, I wanted to take a look at the best team. Who is right now the best team in the AFC and the best team in the NFC? That's coming up next.
Wyman and Bob.
It's going to take a bit for this team, I think, to get past this moment.
Every afternoon at 2.
You know, to be that close, and you were just steps away, and you came up short. Some of them sat in that dugout and watched the Jays out there celebrating, and they're going to use that as fuel.
You're never going to be happy unless you win the last game, right?
Yeah, but somebody's always going home disappointed, and hopefully it's the Blue Jays.
Yeah, that'll be easy to root for the Dodgers.
Plus, they've got my favorite non-Mariner, Mookie
Oh, that's
Betts.
right, Mookie.
Love Mookie.
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
At Bible Law Group, we know how important voting is. That's why we're partnering with Seattle's own rock star Aaron Jones to rock the vote Thursday, October 30th at the Queen Anne Beer Hall. Vote and enjoy delicious smash burgers with Aaron and local bands by getting your ticket at bit.ly/BibleRock. If you've misplaced your ballot, don't panic. In Washington, you can still print a provisional ballot online and drop it in any official ballot box by November 4th. When prayer just ain't cutting it for your legal needs, we suggest two things: vote and call Bible Law Group.
Hey, it's Tim Hunter, former Seattle radio goofball here with two words that aren't funny. Prostate cancer. Get your annual checkup. Keep an eye on that PSA number. And if you hear those two words like I did, talk to the folks at Swedish Cyberknife. 5 treatments, minimally invasive and technologically advanced over the other options. If you were a friend, and I consider you one, I'd highly recommend Swedish Cyberknife. We are so lucky to have them right here in town. Do your research, but definitely visit swedish.org/cyberknife prostate.
Dave Wyman here, and we've been fortunate to hear from 2 Swedish Cyberknife patients this year, Andy Ryder and Tim Hunter. Both heard about Cyberknife from our radio ads and completed successful treatment, raving about their experiences. Tim was impressed that treatment only took 5 days. Andy hosted a large international delegation the week after his treatment. If you, a friend, or a family member is diagnosed with prostate cancer, consider treatment with Swedish Cyberknife here in Seattle. Go to swedish.org/cyberknife prostate.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. Quo, formerly OpenPhone, gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. Quo lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? Quo automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With Quo's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions and use those insights to level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with Quo. Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's quo.com/sports. QUO.com/sports.
This is the home of the Seahawks.
Going to let one fly deep. Got a man out there. Ball is caught down at the 10-yard line, and it's JSN.
Seattle Sports.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and, of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
Have you considered surgery or even joint replacement? Hey, it's Dave Wyman, and before you make that decision, see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Why? Because he gives it to you straight. Dr. Wagner said my right knee needs replacement, and I appreciate his honesty and expertise. My left knee is fine right now, but the minute it isn't, I'm heading to Dr. Wagner for his expert opinion. I want to avoid another surgery, and I've heard so many patients rave about results from their 90-minute outpatient stem cell procedure with Dr. Wagner. He's a board-certified Seattle physician with over 30 years of experience and has performed more than 20,000 stem cell procedures using a person's own stem cells to regenerate cartilage in their own joints. People with severe osteoarthritis, even bone on bone, are back doing what they enjoy without pain and without surgery. Whether it's a shoulder, hip, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
I love this question because I think it challenges us to look at the level of competition in the NFL. I feel like there's a little more parity so far through 7 weeks. Like the bad teams are really obviously bad. The Titans are obviously horrible. But the really good teams have some more obvious flaws. And it doesn't mean they are great. It means you have a very crowded group of teams in the NFC that are 5-2 and 6-2. It means you have, a group of teams at the top of the AFC that are suddenly behind the Colts, and there are some names you aren't used to seeing there. The 3 best records in the AFC right now, the Colts, Patriots, and Broncos. And the Broncos just lost Patrick Surtain for a couple weeks here, so that's in danger too. So let's start with the AFC because I think the NFC is not only far more interesting to the Seahawks for obvious reasons, but a little more crowded. Right now, who's the best team? Who is the team to beat in the AFC?
It's the Colts. Simple as that. You just broke down Jonathan Taylor and what he means to that squad. And people don't want to believe in what the Colts are doing. And I think eventually they'll come back down to reality. But you look at their remaining schedule. You got the Steelers, who I think they can beat. The Falcons. Test against the Chiefs. The Texans, I think they can get. The Jags, I think they can get. You play the Seahawks. I think they can beat the Seahawks too. The Niners, the Jags, and the Texans. They're not going to win all these games, but there's not a game based off of what I'm seeing from them that I look at and say, I don't know if they can win that game.
Yeah.
I think their biggest tests are going to be the Chiefs and the Seahawks. And then you got to stay healthy, right? Jonathan Taylor is the thing that makes his team go. If he doesn't get her done, then this team doesn't work the way that it's been working. So you got to pray for health. But respected, it's the Colts. And then after that, I look at the Chiefs. The Colts and then the Chiefs. And don't ignore the 7-1 record. They did lose to the Rams. They haven't really beaten anybody good, but the way that they are beating teams is impressive, and it looks like that's the formula. Well, I know that the way they play football is the formula to win ball games in the NFL, which is relying heavily on the run and then taking your shots in the pass game.
I agree with you. I think it's going to be the Colts, and it's not just the simple answer of being 7-1. Like you said, it's the way in which they're winning. You can only beat the teams you're facing. So if you're going to say, oh, they're facing, the rest of the AFC South, or they're playing the Titans twice and whatever. Okay, sure. They also have by far the largest point differential in the AFC. And they're the largest point differential in the league, period. But when I say the largest in the AFC, I mean they're at plus 116. And the next closest is plus 83 with the Chiefs. I think the Colts could beat the Chiefs head on. Yeah. And there also gets to be a certain point in the season. Look, we're heading into week 9. There gets to a certain point in the season where you go, this doesn't feel flukish anymore. And all the basic fundamental stats are also really good for the Colts. They're a top 5 team in third down conversions, right? If you look at EPA per play for Daniel Jones, he's a top quarterback. Like when you look at all these little individual categories, how are they on third downs? How are they with, rushing yards per attempt? How are they with efficiency? How are they defensively? And all of these measurables of kind of football fundamentals, how are they with not turning the ball over and those things? Like they're solid. Yeah. They're a really, really well-rounded, very complete team. And not only has Daniel Jones been excellent, but their run game is unstoppable right now. Jonathan Taylor's amazing, and that bodes very well, as we all know, as you get later into the season.
Yeah, if you can run the football, everything else is set up. Running the football is a high percentage play. You get it to your playmaker right now, and even if the defense has a blitz dialed up or the gaps under control, if you have a running back like Jonathan Taylor, he can make you right more times than not. It's the safest play in football offensively is to run the rock, and they got the best running back in the game right now, combined with a quarterback who has the threat of running the football too. He's not putting up the numbers he did that one year with the Giants where he rushed for over 700 yards and 10 touchdowns. But Daniel Jones is a threat as well. So that it makes the defense have to it makes the quarterback occupy a defender on defense.
Yeah.
And when you play 11 on 11 straight up, that's a win. Usually when you play with a pocket passer quarterback, it's 10 on 11. You don't really not really concerned about the quarterback. So it's the threat of Daniel Jones, and it's the execution of Jonathan Taylor. And then you got a good wideout on the outside in Pittman, too. I don't think people talk about him enough.
No, he's been phenomenal. Someone said Daniel Jones will eventually return to who he was. He's Daniel Jones. Leopards don't change their spots. They're also not asking Daniel Jones to be an absolute savior. I mean, he's got explosive pass plays, so it's not like they're having him be like check down Charlie and he's not throwing. He's fourth in average yards per completion. So he's still throwing it downfield. He's still making some difficult throws.
Yeah.
But they've got so many weapons. The defense has been good. Taylor's been good. Like, they don't need him to be the single best part of this team. I do think that's what makes some people answer this question Chiefs, though, because they look at what the Chiefs have and they go, hey, I don't care if the Chiefs have fewer wins than the Colts right now. I believe in Patrick Mahomes in a way that I don't believe in Jones, and quarterback's
That's
the most
fine.
important position. I think that's an argument you could take.
Well, Daniel Jones is completing a higher percentage of passes than Pat Mahomes. Pat Mahomes does have 4 more touchdowns, but 1 more interception. I get it. Like, Pat Mahomes has shown over the last 7-8 years that he's the guy. He is the standard in the NFL. So I'm not mad at anybody who thinks that, but I also know that you can't ignore what you're seeing. Daniel Jones is completing 70% of his passes, 13 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He's only been sacked 9 times. That means that O-line is getting her done. The play calling is on point. Until we see the fall, you have to respect what you see right now.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm going to do. I'll take Daniel Jones for who he is today, not yesterday.
To the NFC, which I think is a more fun conversation and a much more crowded room. Who's the best team in the NFC right now?
It's Philly. It's Philly. I'm rolling with Philly. And the reason why I'm rolling with Philly is because their play is more sustainable. Why? Because it resembles the Indianapolis Colts. The Indianapolis Colts right now. I think their run game is getting going. I think they have the best wideout combo in the game. And I think that they have a quarterback that has the same threat that Daniel Jones brings to the table, but he actually does it. And they have the pedigree. I'm going with the 6-2 Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC. Something tells me by your demeanor, by your sounds, that you're not rolling with them.
You know who's got a better point differential than the Eagles right now?
Who that?
Packers. You know who else?
Who that?
Seahawks. You know who else?
Who that?
The Lions. You know who else?
Who that?
The Rams. It's not that I think the Eagles have maybe the best roster.
Of all the teams you just named,
yes,
you're probably going to name one team you feel that can beat them in the playoffs right now.
I think the Seahawks would beat the Eagles in the playoffs right now. I don't think they're the best team in the NFC, though. I think it's the Lions.
Okay.
I
don't agree.
We're having a good old-fashioned stare down right now. I think the Seahawks would beat the Eagles if the postseason started tomorrow because they've had a lot of rest. No, I think that the Eagles are a better roster than Seattle. I think that they have Seattle beat in so many categories: offensive line, running back, quarterback right now in terms of how dynamic Jalen can be. I can't believe I'm saying this.
Wideouts.
And I think that it's wideouts. And I think that
Tight
it is
end.
I think that it is heavily influenced, though, by Seattle's success against Philly in the postseason. That is a factor. I'm going to be completely honest.
That means nothing, though.
No, it does in my mind.
It
does in my mind. Eagles fans don't want to see the Seahawks in the playoffs.
You still thinking about DK making that catch?
I sure do. Absolutely, I do. But I also think the Eagles have this weirdly tight, what am I trying to say? Like margin for error. Like when you take a closer look at some of their stats, like they in Seattle run the ball more than almost anyone. Like their run pass, you already know this, their run pass play percentage is pretty evenly divided. And if we're going to sit here talking about how the Seahawks could overall be better there, well, so could the Eagles. Saquon Barkley just had his first 100-yard rushing game.
Who you taking, Saquon or K9?
Oh, Saquon.
Okay. Who you taking Eagles wideouts or Seahawks wideouts?
Right now, JSN.
No, collective group. They got a 1-2 combo over
Collective
there.
group Eagles.
You got a guy go for 150, got to go for 100.
But what do you do about a team that is allowing more points than they'd like and is also not quite as effective? This is not an Eagles team that's producing like the way they did last year, especially with the run game. We look at Saquon and we see everything he can do, and we see an undeniable talent behind a very good offensive line.
I think I
but
lean
it's not
on.
looked like that on the stat sheet this
I think
year.
they're moving in that direction, and I lean on the pedigree. They have experience. I think the Hawks can eventually get there, but right now, if they were to play,
Totally
I'm
fair.
probably taking the Eagles.
All
But
right.
I ain't mad at you.
We want to send one of you and 3 friends to watch the Seahawks game on November 9th against the Arizona Cardinals. All you need to do is open the Seattle Sports app and click the Win tab to find out how. If you don't already have the app, just text the word app to 866-979-3776 and we'll send you a link to download. Enter daily to increase your chance to win. This contest runs through Monday, November 3rd. A trade deadline temperature check coming your way next.
Hawks Live. Presented by the Dining District at the Bellevue Collection. Thursday nights from 7 to 9 p.m. Live from Bellevue Square's center court. Come on by and join hosts Michael Bumpus and Paul Moyer and a different Seahawks player every week.
This should be fun.
Hawks Live. Thursday nights from 7 to 9 p.m. Exclusively on the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
The stock market's on fire. AI stocks are performing at all-time levels. We hope you, like many of our investors, have taken advantage of it. A famous man once said, buy low, sell high. There's also $8 trillion of cash sitting on the sidelines. Investors are either scared or they don't know where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rierecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares profit with our investors. We've been doing it for 19 years, averaging double-digit returns with zero investor losses. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital and invest in our family of funds. From a 3-year investment with double-digit returns to only a 90-day commitment returning 7%. We also accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Seattle Sports has your chance to win 4 tickets to the Seahawks game, Sunday, November 9th. Head to the Seattle Sports app, click the Win tab in the bottom right corner, and enter to win. You can enter once per day, so the more times you enter through the Seattle Sports app, the better your odds. Do it every day, October 28th through November 3rd. Details and rules at seattlesports.com/win. From the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Want more Seahawks content? Join me, G. Scott, on The Reset. New episodes of the podcast every Monday and Thursday on YouTube or on the Seattle Sports app.
Why is K2 Vision RLE a permanent solution to glasses, contacts, and readers? How is it that you'll never develop a cataract after K2 Vision RLE? And how is RLE different from LASIK?
Hey, it's Doctors King and Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. We'll answer those questions and others when you join us for our free live webinar this Thursday at noon. Andy, what are some of the other questions you hear?
Well, how long is the procedure and recovery? Or who's a good candidate for RLE?
And we'll also answer, how much does RLE cost? Is there financing available? Does insurance pay for RLE?
Find out how K2 Vision RLE is the permanent solution to glasses, contacts, and readers.
And cataracts too.
Right, no more cataracts.
K2 Vision's free live webinar this Thursday at noon. Space will be limited, so register now at k2visionrle.com.
Join us at our free live webinar this Thursday at noon. Sign up at k2visionrle.com.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all three like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Let's take a look at some trade deadline rumors, a trade deadline temperature check as we close in on the Tuesday deadline. I'll start with this before I get to some of the names that we're hearing about, because Seattle's not been really tied to any of these. Bump, I'm going to take a temperature check with your feelings about the Seahawks before I read you a few of these. Are you feeling as though the Seahawks will or will not make a move? Only a couple days away now. And by couple, I mean 5, because I'm frequently told I misuse the phrase a couple, which I take to mean like between 4 and 10.
You're definitely misusing it.
I never use a couple literally as in 2, ever. I don't think I've done it in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
So when you see...
You just need to know when I say a couple, I could mean double-digit numbers.
So when you see a man and a woman walking down the street, you don't think, that's
a couple. But when I say, it's a couple days until the deadline, well, the deadline's on the 4th. It's a week until the deadline. Okay. But I fundamentally think I'm correct here.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know.
It means not a lot. But
do I think they make a move? I think if they do make a move, it's not going to be one that really affects the starting lineup. It's going to be a depth type of move, a corner that no one really knows about, a lineman possibly that no one really knows about. I don't think it's going to be a roster changing, depth chart changing type of move. Mm-hmm. I think that offensively, we're looking at the O-line and saying maybe they make a move there. I also think the guy who gets a lot of flack also has shown some potential at times in Anthony Bradford. Yeah, he gets, if you're always evaluating, and you're always pointing out where you think this team could get better, and you focus on the right guard. But at the same time, I watch film with the guys at pre-halftime and post-game show. As much as we talk about the right guard spot, there are times where he looks really good. Mm-hmm. It's like, can he tap into that consistently? And I think that's why he remains a starter over there, is because when he's good, he's really good. But when he's bad, it looks bad. And it's always amplified at the lineman spot, because that means your quarterback's getting hit or there's some type of pressure. I see receivers run horrible routes at times, but no one really pays attention to them because, you don't really know what you're looking at. No, I don't think they make a move. I think they ride with what they have. They'll grab somebody off a practice squad or something like that for
like
some depth.
Waiver wire.
Yeah.
I agree. I think I agree with you. Adam Schefter this morning said that he could see it being the under 15 in terms of total moves made ahead of the deadline. The Rams have already acquired some cornerback depth with McCreary, who plays primarily in the slot. But again, not like necessarily a massive name being traded. I think a lot of people are eyeing wide receivers. Do the Jags end up moving Thomas Jr., despite saying that they aren't going to? That feels like a possibility for maybe a team like the Steelers or the Bills or whatever, even though it's in conference. It feels like a possible fit. What I'm also interested in is the 49ers have been linked to a couple names. So it may not be a Seahawks move that affects the Seahawks, but what if the 49ers acquire someone like Trey Hendrickson, who is dealing with, I think, a groin or a hip injury, dealing with a minor injury, but they're looking for help without Nick Bosa. They've fared very well despite being very banged up. They're getting Purdy back. They're going to get these names back. Christian McCaffrey's been great, not coming off his best game, but they still have some really valuable pieces. Both tight ends got touchdowns. Getting Trey Hendrickson impacts Seattle, even if it's not Seattle acquiring him. You still got a game to play against San Francisco.
Yeah, you have to pay attention to what's going on around you, right? What's going on in your division. I think even if the Niners were to get Trey Henderson, I don't think he replaces Nick Bosa, and I don't think it changes the way that I view them. I still see them as the third best team in the division because of other things. We still got to wait and see what Brock Purdy looks like when he's healthy and in his groove. We know that when he's on fire, he's on fire. Kittle came back last week. I believe he scored 1 or 2 touchdowns last week. They're getting healthy, but I think the Nick Bosa and Fred Warner losses are just too big to overcome. In the way that they are running Christian McCaffrey, run game and pass game, it concerns me for him because he's no young spring chicken anymore, and you're getting all of these touches. Eventually, something could happen. So I respect the Niners. I know they're going to be well coached. I think they have talent over there, but I think that the big losses that they have, too much to overcome, and MVS is gone now, so that doesn't help either.
If Dallas ends up acquiring defensive help, you aren't playing the Cowboys, but obviously you're competing for playoff spots in the NFC. Does that in any way threaten the Seahawks, or are you like, go ahead and try if Dallas acquires defensive help because their offense has been spectacular? Or are you like, go ahead and do whatever you want? Like, I don't.
It's going to take more than one guy over there in Dallas.
I mean, that's what Jerry Jones certainly thinks.
Yeah, it's going to take one guy in football. The only positions where I think one guy can change what you're doing on offense is quarterback and running back, because the running back can make a Cheeks offensive line look great. Big Ray talks about all the time. I'm not saying his line was Cheeks, but they weren't the greatest over there with Barry Sanders. But he said Barry would make them right all the time. Yeah. Right. So on defense, I think the guy who can really change something is maybe like a dominant defensive tackle, but you still need other pieces to kind of fall in line. So yes, it would enhance Dallas. It would give them more of a shot because they can put up points with the best of them. But it takes more than just one guy. All
right. One more rumor from this morning. Mike Garafolo, we had talked about whether or not the Giants would be sellers moving on from some of their pieces. He said that Kayvon Thibodeau will not be moved. He said he's under contract next season. The team picked up his 5th-year option. They intend on having him in 2026. Okay. So I know that people are kind of eyeing different pieces, expecting someone like maybe the Saints deal Chris Olave, and the Bills need help. Again, Seahawks aren't part of these, but we should see a couple wide receivers move. Jacoby Myers has his trade request in with the Raiders. And it sounds like edge rushers being another piece that's going to be moved at the deadline. And it also doesn't sound like the Seahawks are in for any of these.
Yeah.
But expect some edge rushers, wide receivers to be moved in a somewhat quiet deadline. Again, the deadline is a week from today, Tuesday, November 4th. All right. We are sticking with the NFL. 4 Down Territory coming up at 11:15. Coming up next, it's NFL Network's Jeffri Chadiha.
Wyman and Bob.
It's going to take a bit for this team, I think, to get past this moment.
Every afternoon at 2.
You know, to be that close, and you were just steps away, and you came up short. Some of them sat in that dugout and watched the Jays out there celebrating, and they're going to use that as fuel. You're never going to be happy unless you win the last game, right? Yeah, but somebody's always going home disappointed, and hopefully it's the Blue Jays. Yeah, that'll be easy to root for the Dodgers. Plus, they've got my favorite non-Mariner, Mookie. Oh, that's right, Mookie. Love Mookie.
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Selling cars is a really easy business. It's complicated by really bad dealers. And why do we do that? Well, because we think that the less information we give and the more that we can dictate it on our terms, the more profitable we'll be. And what we found is that this is the exact opposite. The easier we make it, the more information we give, the more comfortable customers are in doing business with us. Now, that one transaction, we might make a little bit less on, but it's not the one. It's that one that leads to the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth. It's not the one individual. He's like, but you never get to the spouse, the parents, the kids, the friends, if you don't take care of them first.
It's not a script. It's a belief. The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
I know a lot of you guys are listening from your phones right now, so it's the perfect time to give a shout out to my friends over at AT&T. The other guys will make claims saying this and that about how great their network is, and I'm just here to set the record straight that AT&T is America's fastest and most reliable wireless network. I don't know about you guys, but it just gives me so much peace of mind when I'm going to do the things I love, and I know my wireless network's got me. Like if I'm going to a concert or a basketball game or even something outdoorsy, knowing I'm going to have fast service and can share what I'm up to is a game changer. You want to know you can post what you want to post, call who you want to call. And with AT&T, it literally doesn't matter where you're going. I promise you, they're already there. Don't just take it from me. Actual tests prove AT&T is America's fastest and most reliable wireless network. When you compare, there is no comparison. Based on RootMetrics' United States Root Score Report, 1H 2025 tested with best commercially available smartphones on 3 national mobile networks across all available network types. Your experiences may vary. RootMetrics rankings are not an endorsement of AT&T.
Hey, it's Tim Hunter, former Seattle radio goofball here with 2 words that aren't funny. Prostate cancer. Get your annual checkup. Keep an eye on that PSA number. And if you hear those 2 words like I did, talk to the folks at Swedish Cyberknife. 5 treatments, minimally invasive and technologically advanced over the other options. If you were a friend, and I consider you one, I'd highly recommend Swedish Cyberknife. We are so lucky to have them right here in town. Do your research, but definitely visit swedish.org/cyberknife-prostate.
Dave Wyman here, and we've been fortunate to hear from 2 Swedish Cyberknife patients this year, Andy Ryder and Tim Hunter. Both heard about Cyberknife from our radio ads and completed successful treatment, raving about their experiences. Tim was impressed that treatment only took 5 days. Andy hosted a large international delegation the week after his treatment. If you, a friend, or a family member is diagnosed with prostate cancer, consider treatment with Swedish Cyberknife here in Seattle. Go to swedish.org/cyberknife-prostate.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. Quo, formerly OpenPhone, gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. Quo lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? Quo automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With Quo's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions and use those insights to level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with Quo. Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's quo.com/sports. QUO.com/sports.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here. For my friends at People Come First or PCF Construction Group, are you tired of just grilling in the cold and rain every winter in the Northwest? Well, with a patio cover, heater, and fireplace from PCF, you can enjoy your outdoor deck or patio all year long, staying warm and dry. even in the wintry months. And I have a special offer for you. PCF's Black Friday sale runs through November, and you can get up to 20% off your entire project, plus no payments and no interest until 2027. Most people don't consider building a deck in winter, but if you want yours ready by next spring and summer, then contact PCF right now to start planning. Spend the winter dreaming, designing, and approving your project so you're ready to build by the spring. Remember, planning and permits take time, so get started right now. Find all the offer details, get project ideas, and browse photos at pcfgroup.com or call 425-629-8476. That's 425-629-8476, pcfgroup.com.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Dodgers took a 2-1 lead in the World Series last night with a walk-off win in the bottom of the 18th of Game 3. Freddie Freeman's home run brought an end to a 6-hour, 39-minute contest, the second longest in postseason history. The Ravens expect Lamar Jackson to start a Week 9 Thursday night game against the Miami Dolphins. He's been out for about a month with a hamstring injury, but was a full participant in walkthrough yesterday.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Joined now by NFL Network's Jeffri Chadiha on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Jeffri, how's it going?
I'm doing well, although I should be talking to you guys. Your Mariners broke my Detroit Tigers' hearts.
Oh, no.
Ago, so I'm still getting over that.
Completely understand. You know what? Our hearts are broken as well. So it's just pain passing on pain. But God, what a Game 5, though. Holy cow.
Oh, yeah. No.
Okay, well, I was going to ask about Scooble, but I'm going to keep it focused on the NFL. Focus, Stacy, focus. Okay. So you wrote, granted, this was your Week 8 reality check, and we're going into Week 9, but I want to focus on this because I really liked one of your points. You started out saying, it's been a long time since we've seen this much parity in the league. Bump and I were just talking in our last hour about trying to figure out, well, who is the team to beat in the NFC and who is the team to beat in the AFC? And I liked that it was a debate. What do you think is leading to a bit more parity this year?
Well, I think injuries are part of this. I mean, you're seeing a lot of star players go down. I think you're seeing a lot of teams who found the right coaches. I think there's really a lot of good young coaches in the NFL right now, and that's something that may not have been the case even like a few years ago. And, you know, when you have these dominant teams like the Chiefs, you've seen the NFC where the Eagles have been on top and the Niners have had their run, and, you know, obviously the Patriots going back a little farther. I think that teams have learned how to build to match up with these franchises. And so you've got better coaches, you've got better rosters, and I think you're seeing a more balanced league as a result.
What do you like most about this Seahawks team? I mean, people have been focusing on Sam, on JSN. It's the defense. What do you think is the strength, and what do you like?
Well, the balance. I mean, it's pretty hard to find too many teams in this league right now that are top 10 in scoring and top 10 in defense. And look, I've been super impressed with what Sam Darnold's been, and I wasn't so sure that when he left Minnesota that it wasn't going to be a decline given what he was leaving behind with the weapons he had, the coaches, the infrastructure. But, you know, hats off to what Mike Macdonald's done and Clint Kubiak. The emergence of Jackson Smith and Jigba has been amazing to watch. And so that offense in and of itself, the offensive line obviously has done a good job. That offense has been phenomenal. And when you pair that with a defense, which I knew Mike Macdonald was going to get that part right because I've seen him at Michigan, my alma mater, and with the Ravens, what he's been able to do. And so I just think there is balance to any team in the league. And when you're able to have all those different elements and good coaching, that bodes well for you long term.
Is there a part of you that feels like you're, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but kind of waiting for either regression or a bad game from Darnold? Or do you look at what Darnold's done and say, well, now you've got back-to-back really good years. It seems like he's taken a pretty good step forward.
No, I'm more in the second category that he's proven that this is not a 1 year, I'm with the right situation type of situation. And Baker Mayfield's done that in Tampa Bay, by the way, as well. They had a phenomenal, matchup a few weeks ago, and it was great to watch both those guys. I always have a lot of compassion for quarterbacks who go through what they've gone through, doing what they're doing. And so it just shows you how much being with the right coach and people who understand your strengths and how to use you means to a quarterback's success. And look, I live in Kansas City, and Patrick Mahomes is a god here. And people don't want to hear it, but I tell people, if you put Patrick Mahomes in the situation that Sam Darnold was in the Jets, we'd never be talking about Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Because it's that easy to go the other way. And so I'm really happy for him and what he's doing. He's showing he's a player. Yeah, he's in my MVP watch every week because of that.
Jonathan Taylor's putting together a heck of a season, 12 touchdowns. Haven't seen a running back win MVP since, 2010, 12? Adrian Peterson?
Yeah.
What do you think his chances are of winning this award? I always chalk it up to the QBs. It's a QB award, but I like what Jonathan's doing.
Yeah, it is a QB award now. It's almost like the Heisman, where you have to really do amazing things for a running back to do it. And I look at Saquon Barkley last year and what he had to go through just to get in that conversation. And if he couldn't win it, it's going to be tough for Jonathan Taylor. And that award is so much about narratives now. And when you have Daniel Jones there with what he's been doing, and you have Shane Steichen, who's going to be in the Coach of the Year conversation, probably the leading candidate for that, it's tough for a running back to break through. Now, if he runs for 3,000 yards, I'll have a different conversation for you, but I don't think he's going to get there.
I know it's tough to predict the trade deadline, so I'm not saying like how many moves, but do you think we might see maybe a more quiet one than we're used to?
Oh, yeah, I definitely feel like it's because of that parity, right? I think that typically what happens if teams are out of it, they're more likely to sell off parts and say, all right, screw it, we're done. And some of those teams that are out of it don't have great parts to sell off. Now, I know New Orleans, Chris Olave is a hot name for teams that need receivers. There's a lot of talk about Kamara going somewhere. The Jets have been played with Breece Hall. Some people have thrown out Quentin Williams. I can't imagine that with that contract he's going to be that attractive of a candidate. And so, yeah, the more you have GMs who feel like, oh, my team's pretty close, I'm going to hold on to my pieces. I'm not going to give them away. And so I think you'll see some movement, but you're not going to see like these heavy, huge moves like Von Miller going to the Rams, 4 years ago and changing the whole complexion of that team's defense.
We had some sound from Matt Hasselbeck yesterday, and he talked about how the NFL is slowly shifting back to old school football, under center, packing it in, the type of play that we're seeing here in Seattle. Why do you think that shift is being made, and do you feel like more teams are going to jump on board?
Well, you're seeing teams being successful with it. I think the Buffalo Bills are a great example of that, and how that's helped Josh Allen evolve into an MVP, where they just really got into the 6 offensive linemen, run heavy, 3 backs in the mix, James Cook leading the way, and so there's a lot of value in that. I think part of this is the way college football has evolved. A lot of these guys who come in the league now, especially offensive tackles, they're not seeing high-level pass rushers in college, and so it's a little bit harder to throw the football when your tackles aren't as reliable. And ultimately, you're just seeing just the size of the defenders now. I've argued for a long time that tush push for the Eagles is really successful, not just because it's a good play, but because how many teams have 300-pound linemen to line up, or 250-pound linebackers, which they did back in the day. There's just lighter bodies make it easier for you to run the football. So I do think it's going that way.
All right. Well, we did bring you on to initially ask you about the Seahawks, but it's hard not to take a look at the rest of the league with so many interesting stories. So that's what I'm going to do with this one. And I want to look at the Dallas Cowboys, not on Seattle's schedule, but obviously impactful for the postseason if they're able to fix this defense. The offense has been phenomenal. They're a really interesting team. Jerry Jones recently said he doesn't think they're just one player away. First, Jeffri, do you think that they try to fix that defense and at least acquire someone at the deadline? And secondly, how much of a threat are they in the NFC?
Well, if they got their defense right, I think they'd be a serious threat because that offense is tremendous in terms of the personnel they have. They had a tough week with Denver, but Denver's got a great defense.
Yeah.
But, look, I think they'll try. But I agree with what Jerry Jones is saying. You're not going to just get a quick fix, one guy come in and change the complexion of your defense, especially when you let Micah Parsons go and you went from 31 to 31 in defense. You're still a bad defense. So I don't know if that's a great deal for them. But yeah, I think that if they're able to win shootouts, they got a chance. But it's just so hard to bet on that. And it's really – I think what's real about them is they haven't beaten a winning team yet. And so when you play that style of football, you're going to beat the bad teams. But when you play the teams that can match up with you and score points against you and hold you down a couple possessions, you're going to lose games. So I think they're going to end up being probably 500 or maybe 7-8 win team.
Hey, how do you feel about the situation with the Jets? I always talk to Stacy, and I tell her, like, they're the worst, most talented team I've seen in a long time. Like, individually, there are some dudes out there, but they can't seem to get it together.
Yeah, I would agree with that, man. It's a couple of years ago, we were talking about Aaron Rodgers going over there, and all they have to have was just a decent offense, and that team is going to take off. And it feels like, I don't know, you guys, I feel like when I watched them, you can tell that they've pretty much they don't know who they are anymore. Yeah. That swagger they had as a young team is gone, and they've got some guys who've gotten paid. And that chemistry, that energy, that urgency they had a couple years ago is gone. And so they've got to find a way to recapture that. I'm a big Aaron Glenn fan. I thought they bet on the wrong quarterback when they brought Justin Fields in, and that's been proven to be right. And so they got to find a way to fix that position. I think if they get the quarterback figured out, you'll see a different vibe there, but it's pretty hard to do that given what they've been up against.
Staying in the AFC here, going to take a look at the Baltimore Ravens, who are 2-5, was everyone's Super Bowl favorite heading into the season. They are going to presumably get Lamar Jackson for Thursday Night Football against the Dolphins, and then, knock on wood for Baltimore fans, hang on to them. Are they still a playoff team? I feel so stupid asking that, but are they still a playoff team? And what's your confidence level in the team if they get Lamar back?
Trust me, I feel stupid every time I talk about them because I write them off every week, and then something happens. Like a 2-5 team is favored to win their division. But I feel like their opportunity to still be a playoff contender is more about that division than who they are. They're going to get people back, obviously, and getting their quarterback healthy is a big part of that. But watching Pittsburgh, it's very they don't inspire a lot of faith, and that's really the only team that in the division that I think could worry the Ravens as far as winning the division. The Bengals' defense isn't good enough. Pittsburgh, with the way they're playing defense, I don't see it. The Browns aren't in play. And you look at Baltimore's schedule, they've got, I believe it's like 5 straight games against teams that are under 500, starting with the Dolphins. And so, yeah, they could go from 2-5 to 7-5 in a hurry and be just fine. So I'm more likely to bet on them than anybody else right now, even with their record.
Who do you think the best team in the NFC is? Me and Stacy were talking about this earlier.
Yeah, I think the team you got there is right there. I'd go with Green Bay just because of the record, what they can be when they are right, and because their defense, when it's clicking with Micah there now, and they were very opportunistic last year. You can see the possibilities there. And if Jordan Love is playing turnover free, they got a lot of weapons. I mean, it's like Tucker Kraft is turning into a star, and I've always been a big Josh Jacobs fan. And so you look at what they have there. I believe that's probably the best team right now, and I think they play pretty soon, don't they? Or they haven't played yet. They play the Packers this year?
No, I don't think they do.
The Seahawks?
Seahawks, no.
No.
Yeah, they don't. Okay, that'd be.
Let's see. Now I'm questioning myself.
No,
I'll
they
look up
don't.
the schedule in a
They
second. I think it's interesting, Jeffrey, that the three of us had 3 different answers. So I'll tell you. So, Bump, you said the Eagles still, and I said that the Eagles feel like they've been a weirder team. Like, the roster's still there, but, like, Saquon just had his first 100-yard game.
Don't poop on my point.
I'm not.
What team
I'm
you
not.
say?
Jeffrey, I said the Lions.
Yeah. Those are all, I think they're all the same. I think they're all legit. I agree with that. I was, but nobody took the Seahawks. No one thought the Seahawks with what they're doing.
I think, you know what? I don't know why we didn't. Why didn't you pick
Pass
the Seahawks?
Defense.
Pass defense.
It has to get better.
But they're weird because Jeffrey, they're like good in scoring. They'll keep opponents out of the red zone, out of the end zone, but they're allowing some chunk plays, especially yards after catch. I don't know why I didn't do that. Shame on me.
Yeah.
Where would you have the
that's
Seahawks if you were like 1, 2, 3 in the NFC right now? And I know that this is subject to change in week 9, 10, and 11.
I'd probably put them 3 right now. I like them over the Lions because the Lions are so beat up in their secondary. But I think if all these teams are healthy, I like the Lions the best. But they all got their issues. And I'm not so certain with Philadelphia. Like, it does concern me that it's taking this long to try to get some kind of consistent offense going. Mm-hmm. And they went through this a couple of years ago when they changed offensive coordinators. And, that's always a crapshoot because you like these guys on your staff and you believe in them, but sometimes they're not the right guy. And they went through this a couple of years ago. And so it is weird. They're the most talented team of that bunch. Put it that way. I think Philadelphia's the most talented.
Yeah.
I think the Lions are the most trustworthy. And I think Green Bay's probably the best.
He is NFL Network's Jeffri Chadiha. Make sure you're reading his work, NFL.com. A ton of great stuff in there. I've loved your recent topics. The patient scale was such a fun read. Thank you so much, Jeffrey.
Thanks, Jeffrey.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Have a good one. All right, let's get to 4 down territory.
This is 4 down territory. Going inside the game. What former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael
I think
Bumpus.
it's crazy how Jeffrey said, Stacy, you're right.
I love how I say my team and you just tried to just poop on my whole. Philadelphia, they have problems here and this and that.
And then
Don't
I said
talk
the
about
Lions.
my squad. What's up with your squad?
Your squad?
Well, the squad that I chose.
And then he said, neither of you chose the Seahawks, son. We just both had to hang our heads in shame. First down, who are you excited to see play this weekend?
Tyler Shuck. We're finally going to see this guy, the young man out of Louisville. Do you say Louisville or you say Louisville?
I say Louisville.
Yeah, I say Louisville too, but
it's like a blend between the two.
For some reason, I said Louisville. But no, Spencer Rattler threw a ridiculous interception last week, I believe, against the Bucks. D lineman tipped into himself, ran it in, ran Spencer Rattler over. It was good while it lasted with Spencer Rattler, but it's time to give Shuck a chance. And I think he's a bit more athletic. He has a stronger arm. He's a bigger frame. I want to see what he does. They drafted this guy pretty high. I think it was a 2nd-round pick. I want to say Tyler Shuck. But when he was drafted, he was the guy that was kind of throwing a wrench into 2nd round, 8th pick in the 2nd round. But he's the guy who threw a wrench into this quarterback thing because this draft class wasn't great. And then we kept hearing about Tyler Shuck, like he was going to get drafted early and jack this whole thing up. But no, I watched the film on him. Athletic, strong arm, big frame. I can't wait to see what he does against the Rams this weekend.
2nd down. What do you think the Seahawks defense allows the offense to do?
I think this defense, because we believe in this defense. I know I just talked about their pass defense, but overall we believe in this defense.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that.
I do too.
I think that this defense should allow this offense to be more aggressive on 4th down when you're in enemy territory, because you feel like this defense is going to be able to bow up and get some stops. I was reading an article about on the Detroit Lions, and Jared Goff is talking about how 3rd down play calling has allowed them to be aggressive on 4th down. So I thought to myself, what should allow the Seahawks to be aggressive on 4th down? I think it's because of the defense. If you're on the enemy's 45, 40-yard line, anything closer than that, and Myers isn't feeling it that day, or the wind is blowing or whatnot, I think you have a defense that allows you to be aggressive on 4th down. If there's something I want to see, that's what I want to see. The Hawks are converting on, I think, a pretty high clip when it comes to 4th down. I'm going to pull up real quick. They are converting on 66% of their 4th downs. That's 10th best in the league. I don't know how many attempts they had. Last year, it was 52%. So they're not great, but they're not bad at all. So I just want to see them be a bit more aggressive.
3rd down. Wake up, guys. New power rankings have been released. How are you feeling about where the Seahawks landed?
All right, here's the list. Okay. Yahoo has them at 8. USA Today has them at 6.
Okay.
Bleacher Report has them at 11.
Too low.
Sporting News has them at 13.
Sporting News.
Fox Sports has them at 9. Sports Illustrated has them at 3. Here's what they're not.
Discrepancy.
Here's what they're not. They're not 3 and they're not 13.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. I think I probably lean more with USA Today around 6. I think that's probably fair, and it's mainly because of this defense. I think I think JSN and Sam Darnold get a lot of the hype, and they should get a lot of the hype. But this defensive line needs to be studied. This defensive line needs to be put on a pedestal along with the other great defensive lines in this league, because it's not just one guy. I mean, it's Leo, it's Murphy, Jay Reed. Depending on the formation, when you line up, you got Chinna walking down onto the line of scrimmage. You got Derek Hall coming back. There's a lot going on. This is why power rankings are a little shady, because you got anywhere from 3 to 13 and everything in between. I'm gonna roll with USA Today and say they should be around 6.
13 is very low, and I would put them also around I almost said 6, 7, 6, 7, 8 is around where I'd have them. And I think you could absolutely put teams with a worse record ahead of them if you just feel like they ran into bad luck or you really like them. But to have them at 13, you've got to have, I'm not saying they have the Ravens, but you've got to have a team where you go, I trust this team more than I do their record.
Right.
Because the Seahawks have one of the better records in the league, particularly the NFC.
Was it 4 teams at 5-2 in NFC?
Yeah.
Yep.
And the Eagles now with 6 wins, I think leading the NFC.
Yep.
So you've got the second most wins. I don't know about that one. They had to put, I'm sure the Bucks came out ahead of them in that.
Bucks and probably the Rams too.
Yeah, I'm moving on. 4th down. Anything stand out from our conversation earlier with Jeffri Chadiha?
Several things. We've spoken to him a few times. I think that was the best conversation we had with him. He said he likes the balance of Seattle. And I thought about that, and we're still waiting on the run game to pop. But I think when he says balance, he's thinking the offense is moving the ball, they're putting up points. The defense is great against the run, the best team in the league against the run, and they're not allowing a whole bunch of points. And then special teams-wise, they've been solid. The kicking game, I feel like it's been a little shaky this year. Myers has missed a few more than I would like, but the return game has been on point. He agreed that the MVP is a quarterback award. I think everybody and their mama thinks that. He said the tush push is successful because of size, right? The size of the Eagles' offensive line. Yesterday, we talked about how offenses are changing because they're looking for the matchups. Do teams have a tush push package to where they get their biggest linebackers, D linemen, or maybe even put a lineman, an O lineman over there to combat what's going on, right? You got to put 300 pounds against 300 pounds and see what happens there. How do you combat the tush push? I like that. Then he said Green Bay was the best team in the NFC. So now I went and I looked at my boy who's going to win MVP this year, and he's low-key balling, quietly balling. No one's really talking about him, but Jordan Love, 13 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. And then what surprised the heck out of me, how many passing touchdowns do you think Jalen Hurts has?
4.
15.
I went towards the other extreme. I was like, he had 4 last week, so I know it's not 4.
15.
I should have thought for more than 30 seconds about that.
1 interception.
What?
Quietly balling.
AJ, what are you talking about?
Quietly balling.
I know they're
right
not
now.
all going to AJ, but okay, so he just had 4 last week.
Yeah.
Obviously, AJ, did AJ have 2 in that game when he went off? Okay, so that's 6. What?
I'm
Then
just
why
saying.
are the Eagles? They're kind of a weird offense, though.
And completing 70% of his passes. Jalen Hurts is quietly putting together a solid season.
This is what's weird about the Eagles. For a minute there, wasn't it that they were not putting up a ton of yardage, that other teams were still, just much like last year, that other teams were still outgaining them sometimes in yardage, maybe even in first downs, but the Eagles were still winning. They were finding ways to win.
Finding ways to win.
And when you're finding ways to win, I can respect it. I think it's resilient. I think it takes having that dog in you, but I don't know that I can always bet on you.
He also has 5 rushing touchdowns. He's accounted for 20 touchdowns this year. Get off of Jalen Hurts' head.
Not Jalen sneaking into an MVP conversation.
Low key.
Wow.
Low key.
All right, well, this sounds weird, but it's actually Brad Paisley's fault that last night's game went on for almost 7 hours. I'll explain why next.
Get inside the huddle.
The handoff inside. It's Chardonnay. He's going to go. Touchdown, Seahawks.
Taking you inside the VMAC every week. Thursdays, noon to 2.
Our guys show up to play.
Player interviews.
It's obviously been paying off. Just going to continue to do that.
Previewing this week's matchup.
We'll say they come out and just run the ball down the Niners' throats.
And everything Seahawks.
If anybody had a doubt, don't.
The Huddle. Every Thursday at noon. Exclusively on the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports.
Guys, tired all the time, gaining weight, low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. Right now, Revive Men's Health Washington is making it easier to get answers with a comprehensive wellness panel. It's not just a lab test, it's where better performance begins. Our providers will check your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. A $400 value for just $99, or free if you start treatment. Over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to restore their energy, mood, and confidence. So if you're ready to feel better and live stronger, call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Offer ends November 30th. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Lake Washington Windows was voted best in the Northwest. Celebrate by saving 25% off new Leak Armor installed windows through October. Plus enjoy 0 down, 0 payments, 0 interest until 2026. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com, a name you can trust.
Are you in pain? This is Dave Wyman, and if you're experiencing pain in your shoulder, elbow, wrist, hip, or knee, do what my friend and co-host Bob Stelton did and go see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
It's been a huge game changer. After 13 years of jiu-jitsu, I had a lot of issues with my hip. It was bad, so I'd heard a ton of patients raving about the results from their 90-minute outpatient stem cell procedure with Dr. Wagner, so I had to check it out. Dr. Wagner is a board-certified Seattle physician with over 30 years of experience performing more than 20,000 stem cell procedures using a person's own stem cells to regenerate cartilage in their own joints. Now, people with severe osteoarthritis, even bone on bone, are back to doing what they enjoy doing without pain and without surgery.
Whether it's a hip like Bob had, a shoulder, a knee, a wrist, an ankle, before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. The best place to watch all your favorite sports. Featuring wall-to-wall viewing screens, 6 windows, and 30 kiosks. Be there at emeraldqueen.com. Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
Let's talk about your hair. Well, maybe after we talk about my hair. I've got great hair, as you know, and it's because of Advanced Hair. Yep, Advanced Hair Restoration. Their simple one-day treatment offers life-changing results that I can attest to. Guys, it's not magic, but it's close to it. They put hair where you need it most, and bam, it grows. It's actual science. Advanced Hair has top-rated physicians, modern technology, and best of all, you get your very own natural hair that begins to regrow the very next day. It's even guaranteed to grow for life. So schedule your free consultation now at 425-449-8185. Mention Curly to qualify for $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. It's a limited time offer. Advanced Hair, the winner of the 425 Business of the Year, and the team that gave me my hair back. More importantly, they'll do the same for you, guaranteed. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports. Touchdown, Seahawks! Ken Walker III. Get everything Seahawks at seattlesports.com.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. Every time I turn around, my friends at Pure Talk give me one more reason to feel good about switching. This month, for instance, they're supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat veterans struggling with PTSD. The result? They're saving lives on both ends of the leash. This is why I switched to Pure Talk. I like being in business with an American wireless company who shares my values. Yeah, I appreciate unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and I bet you will too. But I think you'll really appreciate doing business with a company who gives back to the men and women who volunteered to defend our country. Just dial pound 250, say micro. With Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team, you can switch in as little as 10 minutes. Again, dial pound 250, say micro, to switch to an American wireless company who actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
You've heard the saying, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. Since 1926, my family's been helping local businesses make great first, second, and long-term impressions. We know how to make your company look good with quality uniforms, logoed apparel, floor mats, linens, and more. If you're paying for linen service or doing it yourself, let's have the conversation. The information and quote are free, but the savings and service can really add up. Visit suplinen.com. Superior Linen Service. It's what we do.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
Blame Brad Paisley. Blame him.
Blame it on the goose.
Because he's the reason Game 3 of the World Series went for almost 7 hours. 6 hours and 39 minutes. Oh, my God. So this is the deal. Extra innings are actually guaranteed every single time Brad Paisley sings the national anthem at the World Series. And that's been proven by stats and science. Okay? Because MLB rolled this out. This is from Sarah Wexler. That in World Series Game 2, when Brad sang the national anthem in 2017, 11 innings. World Series Game 3, when Brad sang the national anthem in 2018, 18 innings.
Wow.
That's actually the longest postseason game ever. In terms of time. In terms of time. It's 7 hours and 20 minutes in 2018. It's tied in for innings, but it went longer. 40 minutes longer. When Brad sang the national anthem in World Series Game 1 in 2024, 10 innings. That seems like nothing compared to the others.
What are you doing?
And then, obviously, he sang it ahead of World Series Game 3 last night, 18 innings. I think it's a little weird, not only that every single time that he's sung the national anthem in a World Series game, it's gone to extras, but that he's now arguably responsible for the 2 longest postseason games.
Is he a country singer?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, I'm not familiar with his work.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what his work is. It's making baseball games go for a long time.
Yeah, it's your fault, dog.
He's responsible for like 14 hours of Dodgers games in general.
You know what I thought about last night? Like, if I were a kid growing up in L.A. and the Dodgers are playing, it's a Monday, there's no way my mom's making me go to sleep. I get to stay up late and watch that game last night.
Yeah, well, think of kids that are in Toronto. You're up at 2 a.m.
Dang, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For East Coasters. I saw someone tweeted. He was like a media guy on the East Coast and tweeted something about like was actually angry. Like MLB needs to be responsible for how late this game is going on. And it's like, bro, I don't think MLB counted on this game going 18
This only
innings.
happened one other time in World Series history.
Look, I'm sorry, but starting at 8 p.m. on the East Coast is no different than Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
That is a standard start time for sports on the East Coast. I don't think people were planning on it going 7 hours.
Baseball's the only sport where it can be
they
extended
need to do
like
something
this.
about it.
Like, what do you want them to do?
Yeah, okay.
You want to rig the game?
No, it's just
Wanna
East
call it?
Coasters occasionally. Q Curtis for East Coast bias. It's just East Coasters occasionally complaining about anything to do with West Coast start times.
Yeah. You got to give us time to get home from work. 5 o'clock is kind of early over here.
5 o'clock is perfectly acceptable.
Yeah.
It is a perfectly standard, normal start time for anything.
For anything.
Well, 5 p.m.
Not
on the
for
West
dinner.
Coast.
You eat dinner at 5. You're suspect.
But I'm saying 5 p.m. West Coast start time, 8 p.m. East Coast start time is no one can be super upset by that, you know?
Clearly someone is.
Well, I guess.
You play 2 games in one night. I guess you're going to be upset.
Sure, I guess. But I don't know what to tell you, man. I guess you went to bed at 3. All right, next up. Yahoo Sports reports that SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey sent a memo to the NCAA urging them to rescind their ruling that will allow athletes and staffers to bet on professional sports. The timing of this couldn't have been more weird. That ruling came out very shortly before the FBI uncovered the gambling within the NBA, that massive, massive scandal with like mafia families and Chauncey Billups and everything. It was like within the same 24-hour span. The NCAA board will discuss the matter before the ban is scheduled to be lifted on Saturday.
Here's the problem with that. You just now allowed college athletes to make money. Now you're allowing them to gamble too. Like, you are just breeding degenerates. Like, what are we doing? It just, the formula just don't look right. Because I saw this kid on the sideline. I think it was a Texas game. They said he had $50,000 worth of jewelry on. Like, why
Because
are
you're
we
a
doing
kid.
this?
Because you have no real
And
responsibilities
you're by yourself.
yet.
You're on your own.
Yeah.
Like my mom used to give me like a couple $100 a month when I was in college.
Oh, I would waste it.
I would blow through it so fast.
Absolutely.
Jack in the Box,
Chipotle,
Little Caesars,
clothing that I didn't need.
Mike's Club.
Yeah, all of it. Student loan money that I would like back.
If you would have given me $100,000 in college
Irresponsible
and then allowed
spending.
me to gamble too,
Done.
come on now. And I'm not a gambling guy, but I probably would have tried it. I got money to spend. I probably would have tried it.
I'm not a gambler either. I think that it's easier than people think to make bad decisions, even though I'll stand 10 toes down that it is the responsibility of athletes and coaches to not gamble. It is in the rules that you can't do this. Follow the rules. I'm sorry. Like, that's just how it is. We don't need to like suddenly make it to where athletes are incapable of handling themselves. Ultimately, they're adults. However, I will add this. I think it's a weird look to allow student athletes to gamble, college athletes to gamble, because if part of the reason you have multiple reasons to not want pro athletes to bet, but one factor is that they have insider information. You know who's going to be out. You know who's hurt. You know teammates around the league who might say like, oh, this guy's going to get benched or whatever. And that is insider info. It's not like that info doesn't exist with college players.
When I was
Imagine
in college,
that you're a Georgia
I had
player.
homies who played in the
That's
NFL.
what I'm saying.
I could have gotten some information.
Yes, imagine
for sure.
you're a Georgia player and you are best friends with Jalen Carter, and Jalen Carter knows that
You picked the perfect person too, because he definitely gave me information.
Jalen Carter knows that Jalen Hurts is not going to play on Sunday Night Football, and so you hear that from Jalen Carter and make a bet. That's insider information.
Yeah.
But you would be allowed to do that under this NCAA rule.
Yeah, they tripping, man.
It's weird.
It is weird. I get like the freedom that one wants to do what the heck they want to do. You're not betting on your team. You're not betting on the sport at the level you're playing at. But yeah, first we get money, which I'm with. Give them kids the money. Sure. They deserve it. But now you're asking for them to trick it off. They're already buying a whole bunch of jewelry.
Do you think there shouldn't be gambling, legalized gambling? I'll say this. Do you think that sports companies or leagues should not partner with betting outlets?
I think that morally it doesn't feel right. Business-wise, they see the benefit and how it can help grow their business and how they can put money in their pockets. It's a tough one, man, because I think that it's America, right? You should have the freedom to conduct your business the way that you want to and to drive as much revenue as possible. But with that comes a whole bunch of griminess. And I think that within the next 10 years, we're going to see so many athletes get caught up in this that they might be forced to do something, or they'll be making so much money, there's no incentive for them to try to change what they're doing.
I think there's a level of personal responsibility that's completely ignored sometimes in these conversations. Like, how dare the league, whatever. And it's like, sure, when you're talking about the league being very careful how they're reporting on the NBA story because they're partnered with DraftKings or whatever, sure. Like, then it becomes a little complicated. There's ultimately a level of accountability you need to have as an adult, as a grown man, that if something is against a contract you signed, you can't do it.
Here's the thing. 360 makes a good point. College athletes are pretend adults. They're not really adults yet.
Oh, I don't think they should be allowed to
They
bet.
can handle all that money and fame and allow gambling. It's just a train wreck, like Mom said.
Well, then what happens when they can do that for 4 years and then they go to the NFL?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now in the NFL you can't do it.
You know what we're going to see? We're going to see rich college athletes go broke before they get out of school because they're going to spend so much money. There's going to be some who do it right. Majority, I feel, will do it right and have some counsel. I think universities should be responsible in teaching these kids how to manage their money. But there are going to be some guys and gals who get all this money and trick it off and are broke by the time they graduate.
You should not be allowing college athletes to bet on pro sports.
I think if you play sports, you shouldn't bet on sports.
Yes.
At the college level, high school, I mean, you can't bet in high school anyway. You got to be 18, right? But if you are a college athlete, I agree. You should not be betting on sports.
I 1,000% agree with Sankey here that this is a slippery slope.
Yeah.
And then, again, that sudden rule change when they go to the league. That being said, you can't suddenly make gambling illegal.
You're going to have some addicts, man.
They're already addicts. But
to
also,
gambling.
that's where there's a level of self-regulation that comes in because you don't want to completely outlaw gambling because now you're talking about like this prohibition style.
These
like
are kids, though. These are kids.
Well, no. I'm talking about like nationwide. You can't just like outlaw gambling.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But you shouldn't be allowing it, in my opinion, for people that have any possible conflict of interest, and that would be athletes.
Yeah.
We've already decided college students are basically semi-pro athletes. Professional athletes would not in any other circumstance be allowed.
Semi-pro is a league in Everett where you pay $100 to get in and they pay for your meals. That's semi-pro.
All right. We're going to get to the latest from Daniel Jeremiah. Trade deadline is a week away. Most people think the Seahawks won't add, and I don't think they're wrong. But what if they should? Daniel Jeremiah thinks Seattle has a real opportunity to add one position in particular, and it could be a game changer. That's next.
It's the Hawks Player Spotlight.
Tight end A.J. Barner is with us. How are you, man?
Doing well. It's good to be on here.
Brought to you by Three Tree Roofing.
The rookie on this O-line, Gray Zabel, is with us.
Sam is an elite quarterback.
Going deep with a different Hawks player every day at 3:30 with Wyman and Bob on Seattle Sports.
Every time he walks into the huddle, we know we got a chance for a big play.
Nick Emanwari is with us.
I felt good physically going into the game.
Catch up on every Hawks Spotlight on Seattle Sports on YouTube and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, Brock Heward here. For my friends at People Come First or PCF Construction Group, are you tired of just grilling in the cold and rain every winter in the Northwest? Well, with a patio cover, heater, and fireplace from PCF, you can enjoy your outdoor deck or patio all year long, staying warm and dry, even in the wintry months. And I have a special offer for you. PCF's Black Friday sale runs through November, and you can get up to 20% off your entire project, plus no payments and no interest until 2027. Most people don't consider building a deck in winter, but if you want yours ready by next spring and summer, then contact PCF right now to start planning. Spend the winter dreaming, designing, and approving your project so you're ready to build by the spring. Remember, planning and permits take time, so get started right now. Find all the offer details, get project ideas, and browse photos at PCFgroup.com or call 425-629-8476. That's 425-629-8476, PCFgroup.com.
Matt Coker here with West Coast Men's Health. In the past 5 years, we've seen thousands of men at our clinics. Most guys tell us the same story, that in their early 50s, it's not that they couldn't function, they just needed help. They started taking Viagra, and it worked great at first. But after a few years, it stopped working. The problem is that their arteries had become more restricted since they started taking it, because Viagra does not unclog arteries. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we use acoustic wave therapy to target the real problem. We break down plaque and clear up the arteries so blood can flow like it did in your 20s. This restores function. And guys, listen to this. You won't have to take a pill anymore. So if this sounds like you, give West Coast Men's Health a call today and see how we can help.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Stacy Rost here from Seattle Sports. Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of. And then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, prescriptions. But imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate, noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle, yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target problem areas: waistline, face, neck, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. For your free consultation and $250 off, visit ProSculpt.com for powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men. It's ProSculpt.com.
Seattle Sports has your chance to win 4 tickets to the Seahawks game, Sunday, November 9th. Head to the Seattle Sports app, click the Win tab in the bottom right corner, and enter to win. You can enter once per day, so the more times you enter through the Seattle Sports app, the better your odds. Do it every day, October 28th through November 3rd. Details and rules at seattlesports.com/win. From the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
This is the home of the Seahawks. Gonna let one fly deep. Got a man out there. Ball is caught down at the 10-yard line, and it's JSN Seattle Sports.
After years of wear and tear, Joe had osteoarthritis in his wrists and shoulders.
I've pretty much worked out my whole life. I actually decided I'm going to train for a half Ironman triathlon.
The pain was interfering with every part of his life.
Basically, can't sleep, causing those kind of problems, very limited movement.
Joe had surgery, but it wasn't the fix he was looking for.
The doctor told me, he's like, hey, this is just going to be a partial fix. You're going to eventually need joint replacement.
That's when he decided to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
And they're just getting better. I can basically do full motion. I don't have really any pain.
What kinds of things are you able to do now that you weren't before?
I like to golf, and it definitely has made my golf game not as painful. And sleeping. I'm sleeping better because I don't have that aching at night going on and have to roll over.
So, are you recommending this to others?
Oh, everybody I talk to. Yeah, it's a no-brainer.
Before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. Quo, formerly OpenPhone, gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. Quo lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? Quo automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With Quo's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions and use those insights to level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with Quo. Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's quo.com/sports. QUO.com/sports.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Seattle isn't expected to add at the NFL's trade deadline, which is a week from today. But should they? That was a question that Brock and Salk explored this morning with Daniel Jeremiah. And Bump, Daniel Jeremiah is looking at the same position you are, that being the interior offensive line, specifically right guard. He mentioned going back to look at the tape.
So I went back and I watched a lot of Anthony Bradford, including all of his pressures that he's allowed. Not good. It was tough. And I tried to categorize them when I was doing it. I was charting them and going through it. And I was saying, okay, so there's different ways you can get beat. A guy can, change a direction. A guy could cross your face. Okay, that's an issue. You could have a mental error where you're not seeing a twist or you're not picking things up. So it's a little bit of a mental bust. So he has a couple of each of those. You have some like on the edges where guys just kind of beat you right off the snap, off the edge a little bit. There's 3 of those. Man, I had 9 of those pressures were just pure power or him just lunging and ducking his head and getting beat right now. And that's the worst way you can lose as an interior offensive lineman.
He does think there are real opportunities to add there.
I think there's opportunities to try, and I think there's some that you can get for minimal, on some bad teams. Take a shot. I'll be honest with you, that doing the Charger games, if you'd have told me before the season that Bobby Hart was going to be starting games at right tackle, I would have said, oh man, the sky is falling. Like he's their 6th offensive tackle that they've played in this year. And he hadn't played in a couple years. And I'm watching him every week and I'm going, he's hanging in there. He's actually played decent football, played solid football, more than decent. And I'm like, sometimes you got to just give other guys a chance. If you know what you have is not good enough, then you could say, okay, we're trying to find this great upgrade. Well, maybe just somebody new environment, new coach.
In theory, the Seahawks are a fairly complete team that maybe don't need to add, and maybe they won't. Could they get further if they added a guard?
How much further?
Super Bowl.
Like I'm watching. He's not wrong. I watch the film every week, several times, and that position, that player does all the things that he's talking about. But if you just fix that one player, how much further are you going to go? Because like I said, he mentioned the bad. There are some good with Anthony Bradford too. Let's not get it twisted. There's the reason why he's starting there is because there's no one really to push him.
Yeah.
And because when he's on point, he is on point. It's just that the drop between when he's good and when he jacks up is so big, and it ruins like the flow of the offense. I think that he's good enough to get better, but how much better, I'm not sure. And if you do replace him with someone else, how much further are you going to go? There's still not setting the edge when it comes to the wide zone. Sam Darnold is still explosive in the pass game. So you can get better there, but I think that for this team to be considered a Super Bowl team, the run in general has to be better. It's not Anthony Bradford. Anthony Bradford's not the reason why the run game hasn't popped yet. Is he contributing? For sure. But it's not fix that spot and the running game is going to pop and we're going to see all that. It takes more than that. So, I think if you get better at that spot, that gives you one more win on the season maybe.
I mean, look, this team didn't make it to the playoffs because the Rams had, in theory, down to that tiebreaker, one more win.
Yeah.
One more win on the season is pretty massive.
It is. But it's so hard to find those dudes.
Sure.
Who was I with? I was with my homie the other day, and I was like, the hard thing about football is finding the 6'6", 300-pounder. We were in Target, and I go, me? You'll find a me walking down the street, 5'11", $195, 200. That's easy to find. So sometimes because it's so hard to find that guy with a skill set, like you're kind of stuck. You're saying we have to try to make this work. One, because he knows the system. Despite what Anthony Bradford might look like at times, there's a chemistry with that offensive line. It's just hard to replace a guy like that. And especially you pointed out all week that typically all linemen aren't really dealed at the trade deadline.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there are names out there. Wyatt Teller with Cleveland has been mentioned. Kevin Zeitler with Tennessee has been mentioned. I have not been watching those games closely. And while I know in theory that Teller is a Pro Bowler, a multi-time Pro Bowler, I have no idea how he's played this year. Like, I really couldn't. I would be lying to your face if I told you I was watching every Cleveland Browns snap. So I don't know that it would fundamentally be an upgrade. But I do know that Daniel Jeremiah, someone who does watch a lot of those games, thinks that adding at that position would be for Seattle, and that it may be worth doing it in a year in which we just talked to Jeffri Chadiha. Yeah. There's a lot more parity this year. This league's a little more open.
It'll help. Let's not get it twisted. It will help, but how much would it help?
Right. Let's talk about some of Daniel Jeremiah's biggest takeaways so far from the Seahawks season.
Number one would be Salk was way wrong on that one practice observation of Sam Darnold during training camp, and he is more than fine and an upgrade over what they had previously at the quarterback position. They're set. They're in a good spot there. The next one would be, I think you're seeing this defense kind of really, really emerge. And to me, it's it's just the sum of guys that they have, the depth of guys that they have that they can roll out there. Those would be kind of my two takeaways. Quarterbacks playing really well. Obviously, JSN is a headliner, but I think to me, the more important thing is that Sam has established himself in a consistent way. And then to me, it's just that front. So many guys they can roll through there.
Given what it took Sam to have a career best season in Minnesota, I thought that this team would need as much support as possible around him in order for him to find similar success in Seattle, and I thought that would be cemented by having a good run game. The run game is fine. The pass game and Sam Darnold and JSN, by far the best part of the offense.
I don't like how you got at Salk like that.
Oh, they take shots at each other.
I know, I listen to him all the time. Yeah, I mean, it's Sam Darnold's the reason. Sam Darnold and this defense is the reason why this team is where they are today. Yes, JSN is a factor into all this, but me being a receiver, we understand how dependent we are. Line has to block, QB has to drop, throw the right pass, make the right read. JSN is a star in this league for sure. I'm not trying to take away anything that he's doing, but JSN ain't JSN without a quarterback. Mm-hmm. If you don't have a guy who's dropping dimes the way that he is and taking those shots, it just doesn't work. Sam Darnold and his defense are the reasons why this team is where they are today. Imagine if this run game gets popping.
That's why I keep going back to it, and that's why Daniel Jeremiah's initial point about, again, it's not like he went out and said, Anthony Bradford, that getting a new guard makes you the best run game in football. It's not what he's saying. But I do wonder if even adding depth behind Bradford or competition behind Bradford, and I hate zeroing in on one guy. It always feels very cruel. But it's hard not to wonder how complete a team you could be. You know what I mean? Like, look, I have no qualms right now with Darnold. I have no notes for JSN. I have notes about the run game.
That's the thing, man, is replacing Bradford don't fix the run game. Like, it helps it. For sure, but it's a collective deal with the run game.
Does that mean scheme or the whole line?
It's everybody. It's getting bodies on bodies. It's setting the edge. It's the running backs pressing the right gap and then looking for the cutback. There's an orchestration that goes on with the run game. And yes, if one guy doesn't do his job, I think Anthony Bradford is more of a liability in the pass game than the run game. In the run game, he's on attack mode. This is my guy. I'm going to go get him. Most of the mistakes I see when Anthony Bradford is in the pass game.
Like allowing pressure.
Yeah, it just ducks his head, guy beats him, or slide into the wrong guy and the guy beats him. Because that's where it gets more complicated is pass pro.
So is the run a mix of running backs too making decisions? Because the way I looked at it from the outside, is obviously not a former player, is like, well, God, both these guys are good and healthy. Like, what's going on? Mike Macdonald, I will say, spoke with reporters yesterday and said, I don't think we're looking at personnel changes up front.
No, it's the running backs don't help the situation at times. Zach Charbonnet, was it the last game? Was it home game last game, right? That was the most downhill running we've seen all year was from Zach Charbonnet.
A couple touchdowns.
Yeah, just getting downhill. And even despite the touchdowns within like 5 yards, something like that. There were a couple runs in the middle of the field to where he's just getting downhill. He's going. Running backs help set up the blocks as well. That's why when you look at Ken Walker and he's not pressing the B gap, and he's looking for the cutback now, he's not allowing the flow. He's not allowing the defense, because if he flows to that left side, it sets up the block for the lineman a bit better. So everyone is taking their turn jacking up the run game at some point. Everybody has.
It's a team effort, which I do love teamwork, so I have to applaud it. Certainly have to improve there, though. Sticking with the Seahawks, with Seahawks Draft Blog's Rob Staton joining us next.
Wyman and Bob.
It's going to take a bit for this team, I think, to get past this moment.
Every afternoon at 2.
To be that close, and you were just steps away, and you came up short. Some of them sat in that dugout and watched the Jays out there celebrating, and they're going to use that as fuel.
You're never going to be happy unless you win the last game, right?
Yeah, but somebody's always going home disappointed, and hopefully it's the Blue Jays.
Yeah, that'll be easy to root for the Dodgers.
Plus, they've got my favorite non-Mariner, Mookie
Betts.
Betts.
Right, Mookie.
Love Mookie.
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's danielnelsonmd.com.
Luxury has arrived at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. It's Mike Salk here. You can book now for an unforgettable experience. Let's talk about Hawks Peak. It is the place to be for game days this football season. With over 66 TVs, indoor-outdoor concept, the deck is covered and it's heated as well. And the food, oh man, it was excellent. All with breathtaking views of the Cascades and the Snoqualmie Valley. Yep, you can go to snocasino.com. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
Hey, it's Brock Heward. My family did it, and it saved us thousands. You got to do it. Take the First Mark Insurance Challenge. It's free. See how much First Mark can save you and how much better coverage you can get. They work for you. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. At Bay Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bayalarm.com today.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
Now that I'm a dad, I can't stop thinking about what would happen to my kids if something happened to me, like losing the house or not affording college.
Yeah, that used to keep me up at night too. It's why I finally got life insurance from Ethos. It's 100% online. No medical exams, just a few health questions. I got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day.
I never realized it was that simple. Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Rates may vary. Billed monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
911, what's your emergency?
Got tornadoes coming right at us.
Listen to the wind blow.
ABC Thursdays, the 911 universe expands to Nashville.
How far out is that tornado? 2 miles!
From executive producer Ryan Murphy.
Get everyone you can and send them out here now!
Chris O'Donnell, Jessica Capshaw, Kimberly Williams-Paisley, Leanne Rhymes.
We are on the move! Held it safe, kid.
911 Nashville. All new Thursdays, 9/8 Central on ABC and stream next day on Hulu.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all three like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
Let's go!
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Dodgers took a 2-1 lead in the World Series last night with a walk-off win in the bottom of the 18th inning of Game 3. Freddie Freeman's home run brought an end to a 6-hour and 39-minute contest, the second longest in postseason history. The 19 combined pitchers used set a new record for the most in postseason history.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
Seahawks draft blog's Rob Staton joining us right now from Paris. Hope you're having a ton of fun in Paris. We're going to go ahead and get started with a look at the trade deadline. Something we were talking about earlier in the show is what moves could be made. And I think we both settled on maybe thinking the Seahawks don't end up making one. First of all, Rob, do you think that they do? And secondly, what move should they make if they do?
For a long time, I thought they would make a move just because that's in John Schneider's DNA. You know, he wants to go and make trades. He wants to do the football team. We saw it last year with Ernest Jones. We saw it the year before with Leonard Williams. You can go back and look at Carlos Dunlap, Quandre Diggs. You know, he's always been pretty active when it comes to trades. But I think you just look at this market, there seems to be an awful lot of teams who want to do business, and the names that are out there don't really seem to fit what the Seahawks need at the moment. And then you've got to look at the 2026 draft class and think that it's not a particularly good draft class at the moment. It's the way it's shaping up. So are there going to be more and more teams who are prepared to go and try and make a deal here? And is that in turn going to mean that the price tag goes up because the selling teams know that the draft class is not particularly good next year? So I kind of think that the whole dynamic at the moment is trending towards it might be harder than we initially thought maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. But I am hopeful that they will still get something done because the NFL is wide open this year. And if the Seahawks could make 1 or 2 moves, then they'd be in a really strong position.
Rob, I was driving in thinking about just the Seahawks and if there's a position where I think they are elite as a group. You got JSN, who's putting up numbers that are crazy, right? You got Sam Darnold, who's playing some good football. But I couldn't think of a group that I felt like is elite. Do you think they have a group that's elite? And can they win the division without having a group that's elite if you don't think so?
It's hard because I think you could probably argue that the defensive tackle collection of defensive tackles is as good as anything in the league and probably the best group. Whether you would define that as elite is hard. I guess it kind of comes down to, like, if Joe Flacco has an amazing playoff next year, ask him whether he is elite. And I kind of feel like that's the same thing here with the sort of these defensive tackles. Are they elite or are they just really good and playing great football at the moment? Leonard Williams, Byron Murphy, and Jaron Reed for me are like top of the class when it comes to defensive tackles. But is there an elite sort of 2 or 3 players? Is there a position group? Probably not. It's hard, though, to look across the NFL and see who does have an elite position group at the moment. You could kind of look in the past and go, well, the Eagles had an elite offensive line, or the Niners had an elite defensive line when they were sort of pushing for titles. I don't think either of those things are true at the moment. So, it's sort of like the top quarterbacks. Some of those are clearly elite. I don't think any team, the Texans may have the best defense in the NFL. They've got a great pass rush, but is it elite? Is Will Anderson an elite player, or is it just a great group that have come together? So I'm not sure there is any sort of standout groups at the moment that sort of strike you as like, wow, that is an elite group. So I think it's hard to answer that question.
From standout groups to standout teams, I'm glad you mentioned earlier that the NFL feels wide open, because I kind of agree with you. It's hard to pinpoint which team is kind of the team to beat in either conference. What are your teams that you immediately look to with the NFC? It could be 1 through 3, or is there anyone at the top right now for you?
For me, I think Green Bay have got all the ingredients that you need. I'm not sure that I trust Jordan Love enough. Like, Jordan Love was great the other night, but then you can see Jordan Love have a game where he looks really average in a couple of weeks' time. But they've got, obviously, in a maestro level, they sort of have enough weapons. They have a great running back. The offensive line isn't a liability. They're well coached. I think they've got sort of enough to be near the top. The Lions, when they're playing at their absolute best, are right up there, but they have kind of been a little bit hit and miss. The Eagles, if they can hit their absolute best form, if Saquon Barkley can do what he did at the weekend, then they're going to be up there as well. And then you look at sort of the NFC West, the teams in there, like if the Niners get a bit healthier, if they can make a trade for a pass rusher, I guess they would be in the mix. The Rams as well have shown flashes of quality. So all of those teams are in there. Are any of them better than the Seahawks? They're not miles better than the Seahawks. I think there are probably 1 or 2. I wouldn't fancy the Seahawks to go and beat the Packers or the Lions or the Buccaneers on the road in the playoffs. I think the rest of the teams, even in the teams in the NFC West, I think they would have a chance of beating them.
Hey, Rob, yesterday there was a texter saying, look, K9 needs the bulk of the carries. Me personally, I'm fine with the share that him and Zach Charbonnet are getting. How do you feel that the Hawks should approach the carry situation when it comes to running the rock?
I think it's one of the trickier questions, because I think that both running backs in Seattle would benefit from having the bulk of the carries. I think that's just that. Zach Charbonnet, to me, is a lead running back. He's the kind of player that you want to give a workload, not give him 10 carries and think, well, this guy's going to be Jahmyr Gibbs in that situation. He's somebody I think probably needs 20 carries. The degree of Walker. I don't think Ken Walker's a flash in the pan, 8 to 12 carries and see what they can do. I think these players do need a bit of a shift in order to be able to get out there and do their best football. But when you've invested 2 second-round picks on 2 players, you've got to get them both involved. I mean, the Seahawks are tied to that now. It's unavoidable. They're going to have to use both of these players. Unfortunately, I think we're going to see more of the same. I just think both of them need a bit more time. They need a bit more of the percentage of the carries to show their best football. And I don't think they're going to get it all yet. I think they keep trying to find a way to share the load. And I don't think they're going to get that situation you've got with the 2 running backs in Detroit.
Who could be a key name to return here? We're looking at Robbie Utes coming back after the bye, Julian Love, Devin Witherspoon. Is there someone you think just undoubtedly makes the single biggest impact?
Well, Julian Love's a fantastic player. You know, I think that not having Julian Love on the field has been a big miss for the Seahawks. So getting him back, I mean, that to me sort of is the obvious one. He will elevate this defense in a big way. And that's not the Tyler Carter, who's really upped his game as the weeks have. He's got more playing time. But you need Julian Love out there. For the Seahawks to be at their absolute best, Julian Love needs to be on the football field. But I want to see Robbie Utes out there as well. I think we've all kind of like become really attracted to this idea of having a big ex-Alabama tight end at fullback, sort of, you know, hitting two players in one block sometimes. You know, we need to see him out there. I think the running game is only going to be at its best when Robbie Utes is out there. So I can't wait to see him back on the field as well. And it was great news that that's potentially going to be soon.
Niners are banged up. Rams are playing some good football. Matthew Stafford leading the league when it comes to touchdown passes. And then the Seahawks are trying to round themselves out. Has your view of the NFC West changed when you look at Week 7 as opposed to Week 1?
I think from Week 1, yes, because watching the Niners in Seattle, they look like, wow, you know, actually, I've underestimated this team. I kind of thought they were maybe on the other end of their peak. And then watching that game, I thought, no, they are they are clearly a quality team, brilliantly coached. But they've had so many injuries. And then watching a bit of the game on Sunday, you kind of just catching up them because we got to see the Seahawks play the Texans, and then we got to see the Niners play the Texans. And the Niners did not play well against the Texans. So I'm just starting to think that, I don't know. And then Brock Purdy's going to come back. How quickly is he going to be able to get back to his best? Is he going to ever get back to his best? Is there even going to be a conversation if he comes back and keeps turning the ball over, which is what he did when he was healthy, then maybe they're better off just rolling with the guy who's played most of the season so far in Mac Jones. I don't think that's going to help the Niners. So I think they're going to stick around. Their schedule is not difficult between now and the end of the season. So the Niners are going to be there, and we just have to accept that. But I don't think at the moment, with the way that they played the Texans, that they're necessarily on the level of Seattle and the Rams. I can't wait to watch the Seahawks play the Rams. I don't know how to sort of separate these two teams and how close they are or whether there is a difference between the two. I think we need to see it. I think it's a terrible thing that the NFL schedule has meant we've had to wait so long to watch the Seahawks play the Rams. There's been a couple of weekends now in the NFL where a classic Seahawks-Rams matchup would have sat really well in that late window compared to the games we actually got to watch. So we've got to wait for that, but that's going to be a box office game, and that's going to tell us a lot in this race for the NFC West.
Absolutely agree with you. Last one for me, I wanted to talk about the defense. For his first press conference back from the bye week, Mike Macdonald said, our identity is that we're an 11-man rush. And he's talked before about their ability to bring pressure, not just without blitzing, but without having, a league leader in pressures or a league leader in sacks, that it's kind of like, an every-man defense. Is that what you see when you watch them?
Yeah, I think it is. And, part of me, would love to see the Seahawks have that one player who can just wreck a game. It just makes it easy. Like
I would love Myles Garrett.
When you have it. Exactly. That especially is important. I like the 11-man rush. But when you've got like a 2-touchdown lead in the fourth quarter and you just need someone to get a sack or make a play and just get you off the field, like that's when that kind of player comes good. And unfortunately, there's been a few games to the Seahawks where they've not done that, and they've let teams hang around, and they've not just been able to finish things off. And I still think that they missed that player, but 3.5 quarters, it looks great, and that's and the defense is very, very good, and it is. I still think you could do with that one really impactful edge rusher. If you could say to me, like, do you know what? It's going to be really expensive, but you go and get Max Crosby this week. I would be like, I'm fine with that. Like, go and do it. But it's probably not going to happen because all of the reports are saying that the Raiders are not going to trade him before the deadline. I mean, that would be a huge move. If there's somebody of that kind of quality available, I'd be down. Not the case. Having a defensive coordinator who can be creative and go and find a way to pressure teams without having that top pass rusher. And to be fair, Chenna Nwosu's doing a really good job since he came back in creating pressure and getting sacks. So I still think that that needs to be acknowledged. But yeah, that 11-man rush is causing teams a lot of problems, and hopefully it's going to do the same for the Commanders, whoever's playing quarterback for them this weekend.
Is there a position that you feel concerns you still? I mean, we've seen guys fill in at linebacker in the secondary. Offensive line, I mean, there's a spot, I guess, or two that you can be concerned about. But is there a position that you feel like needs to be addressed before we can consider this team a contender?
But I'll be shouting like, well, the right guard is obviously the position. I'm not convinced that a season is going to be won and lost by the play of your right guard. I think that typically through the games we've seen so far, we've got 7 games of evidence. That offensive line has been a major upgrade on what it was last year, and is good enough to get this team to where it needs to go. Yes, they need to be better in the run game, but I think it's fair enough. It's not one of the worst in the league anymore, which is what we were talking about for most of last season. I think the weaker areas are, your depth at cornerback looked great after about 3 weeks, and now looks a little more challenging as we get to this stage in the season. I think that could be a concern, because if Devin Witherspoon is out for any extended period of time now, that could be an issue. It seems pretty clear to me that they've been trying to move on from Reek Woolen, and so far that hasn't happened, and that might not have happened because they're a bit more cautious about their depth there. Whether that is a position, if everyone was healthy, that's going to cost the Seahawks, I'm not really sure, because if everybody is healthy, I think it's fine. It's been good to see the linebacker position sort of find a little bit of steadiness now. So I don't actually think there is a position that will, on its own, derail the Seahawks. They've got a really good, rounded, solid roster. I think what will determine whether they can have a really good run in the playoffs is whether or not some of these top players that they've got, the JSNs, the Len Williamses, the Julian Loves, and let's say at the quarterback, Sam Darnold, whether they can play their best football when it matters.
You can find more from Rob Staton at SeahawksDraftBlog.com. Rob, we appreciate you joining us. Thank you.
Thanks, Rob.
Thank you.
Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, read all about it.
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news with Bump and Stacy.
Headline number 1, the Commanders were blown out by the Chiefs 28-7 on Monday Night Football. That's the team with the Seahawks play next. What's the real headline?
I didn't think I'd be saying this, but if the Chiefs keep this up, they'll catch up to Daniel Jones and the Colts. The team to beat
that
the
runaway
AFC.
Freight train.
Genuinely, though, their stats are amazing.
When's the last time the Colts were really good? Andrew Luck?
There was a brief There's a brief period of time where they were in the postseason with the Phillip Rivers
AFC championship game.
Yeah, Phillip Rivers run.
The team that lost to the Deflate Gate.
The Patriots stole it from them.
Yeah.
That was probably the last time. Most recent time.
Hey, big ups the Colts. They were 11-5 in 2020. I assume that's when Andrew Luck was doing his thing. Got a good run game over there. Jonathan Taylor looks like the best running back in the league right now. Danny Dallas, Indiana Jones over there, tossing the pill around. This has to be refreshing for the Colts. It's not just about the NFL Combine anymore.
Yeah.
They got a football team they can watch.
It's funny because obviously when I was growing up, they were not as annoying as the Patriots, who were just unbeatable. But I remember like the Peyton Manning Colts, and they were, it was the Colts, the Steelers, the Patriots. Those were the best teams in the AFC, and some other teams might cycle in once in a while, but it's just funny to hear myself think the same thing, which is like, good for them. And I wonder if I'm going to start thinking that with the Patriots. The Patriots are also quietly one of the better teams in the AFC right now. And I found myself slipping just a little bit into like, they could have a fun playoff run. And then I was like, wait a minute. They aren't starved for Super Bowls.
Here's the thing about what's going on in the AFC. Buffalo is second in their division. I still think they win that division. I think they surpass the Patriots and they win the East. Kansas City is third in their division.
That's crazy.
I still think they surpass the Chargers and the Broncos, and they win that. That's why I look at Philadelphia and their problems, and I tell myself there's talent, there's coaching, they'll figure it out, they'll be okay. And I'm saying that about a 6-2 team. And we're talking about a 5-3 Kansas City Chiefs team. Like, they've just shown that they're mortal.
So you think KC wins the AFC West over the Broncos?
Yes. I guarantee it.
I guarantee it.
I guarantee it.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 2, Freddie Freeman adding to his lore with another World Series walk-off home run as the Dodgers beat the Blue Jays 6-5 in 18 innings. What's the real headline?
There's a benefit to being there before. And this was not really a joke so much as it was a genuine observation and thought I had watching this one. It was hard not to think about the Mariners watching, whether it was the entire game or Freddie Freeman in this moment. And I think heartbreak is painful but leads to very important calluses. And the Mariners team has added a few of those.
Freddie No Flinch Freeman is clutch. And I think that as a competitor, you look at these two teams and you start sizing yourself up. Like, all right, what do they have that we don't have? Talking as if I'm a Mariner or I'm management. What can we do to compete with these guys? You're not going to be able to spin the way that they spin. I don't expect them to. But you just invest in what you have. And I don't think there are going to be drastic changes. We've had this conversation before. I think third base is possibly where the biggest change comes. But it's about locking down your guys who are here, Josh Naylor, and getting some arms in that bullpen. I think if you just do that and then find a couple guys at the bottom of the order, you could be right there. You were 8 outs away from going to the World Series.
Back to the Dodgers very quickly before we move on to our third headline. Where do you rank Freddie Freeman now in terms of like some of the most clutch players you've watched?
Of all time or just for the Dodgers?
All time.
All time? He's got to be. He's a top 10, you know? I say top 10 loosely because you got to give me time to think about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a tough one.
He could be top 5, but I'll give him top 10 right now because I haven't really thought about it.
His grand slam last year in the World Series. Was that also
ankle.
game 2 or 3?
That was game 1.
Game 1. It felt like series was over with that.
Right.
The grand slam in game 1, I think, added like a leap to that legacy. There had been steps taken, but that was like the single greatest. Oh, we're ranking clutch players? Like that was the deposit made for Freeman.
For sure.
Yeah.
Headline rewrites.
Headline 3, Vikings quarterback Carson Wentz will miss the rest of the season after undergoing shoulder surgery. What's the real headline?
Come on down, Russell Wilson. I've got another trade partner for you.
It's set up perfectly for him. But don't you count out Max Brosman? All right?
Sorry, my mistake.
University of Minnesota.
My bad.
6'2", 217. Born in March 28, 2 days after my baby girl. 42 yards on the year. Don't you count out Max. Max, go get your job, dog. You go do it, but Russell Wilson is lurking.
I like throwing it. Born on March 28th. People don't talk about that enough. They don't talk about that enough.
They don't. March 28, 2001. What were you doing then?
March 28, 2001. I don't know.
Were you like in 7th grade?
No, 6th grade.
6th grade?
Yeah.
I was a sophomore.
We were both children. My sister found out that she's not really super into football. We've been trying to find her a team. She ended up choosing the Colts, but she's obsessed with
Why? Because they're winning?
I think that she was most sold on them having a Colt mascot. But
a Colt mascot,
like a horse mascot, yeah.
Oh,
there were some other things at play. Her boyfriend is a Colts fan, despite being from Queens. But she almost chose the Giants based purely on Cam Scatterbo. And I say this because she found out they have the same birthday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
When's the birthday?
February 5th.
Okay.
Yeah, so now she's Sam Cattaboo.
What?
Because her name's Sam.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But let me tell you what, those birthdays, you and Jalen Milroe.
Me and Milroe.
Bonded for life.
Forever.
You're always going to have like a little rooting interest based purely on like, look, we're birthday twins.
I'm going to meet him and say, what's up, nephew?
I can't turn my back on him.
I can never do that.
We're too connected. What team would you tell someone to root for? If you had to take the Seahawks off the table, okay, and someone was like, I'm not an NFL fan, give me a team that will build character and be fun.
Detroit. They're a blue-collar winning team.
Okay.
Detroit.
And they're fun right now. They're good.
Yeah.
But they've got enough heartbreak to make you stronger.
They got the struggle.
I'm trying to think like the last team. I would never tell someone to be a Jags fan.
Or a Jets
Browns,
fan.
Jets. Yeah, I'd be like, look, there's
Texas
not going to be.
Texas might be cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought the Colts were a pretty good candidate because they're really fun this year.
But they're not. This ain't gonna last. Like the Texans, you could see kind of building around Stroud, the Lions, of course, but the Colts, they're one-hit wonders, I think.
I mean, they definitely don't have.
But listen, one-hit wonders go platinum. You know what I'm saying?
That's actually a great analogy.
You know?
It works. It works. All right. We're going to get back to baseball. The latest from Jeff Passan coming up at 1 p.m. Coming up next, a look around the NFL.
Hawks Live. presented by the Dining District at the Bellevue Collection. Thursday nights from 7 to 9 p.m. Live from Bellevue Square Center Court. Come on by and join hosts Michael Bumpus and Paul Moyer and a different Seahawks player every week.
This should be fun.
Hawks Live. Thursday nights from 7 to 9 p.m. Exclusively on the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Life's expensive enough, isn't it? Groceries, gas, kids' activities. Sometimes your roof needs replacing, but your budget says not now. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We want to help with an offer to lift that weight off your shoulders. Get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. Or save up to $3,000 on a new roof today. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
You've heard the saying, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. Since 1926, my family's been helping local businesses make great first, second, and long-term impressions. We know how to make your company look good with quality uniforms, logoed apparel, floor mats, linens, and more. If you're paying for linen service or doing it yourself, let's have the conversation. The information and quote are free, but the savings and service can really add up. Visit suplinen.com. Superior Linen Service. It's what we do.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. Hey, it's Tim Hunter, former Seattle radio goofball here with 2 words that aren't funny. Prostate cancer. Get your annual checkup. Keep an eye on that PSA number. And if you hear those 2 words like I did, talk to the folks at Swedish Cyberknife. 5 treatments, minimally invasive and technologically advanced over the other options. If you're a friend and I consider you one, I'd highly recommend Swedish Cyberknife. We are so lucky to have them right here in town. Do your research, but definitely visit swedish.org/Cyberknife prostate.
Dave Wyman here, and we've been fortunate to hear from 2 Swedish Cyberknife patients this year, Andy Ryder and Tim Hunter. Both heard about Cyberknife from our radio ads and completed successful treatment, raving about their experiences. Tim was impressed that treatment only took 5 days. Andy hosted a large international delegation the week after his treatment. If you, a friend, or a family member is diagnosed with prostate cancer, consider treatment with Swedish Cyberknife here in Seattle. Go to swedish.org/Cyberknife prostate.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Want more Seahawks content? Join me, G. Scott, on The Reset. New episodes of the podcast every Monday and Thursday on YouTube or on the Seattle Sports app.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. Quo, formerly OpenPhone, gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. Quo lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to Need to take calls on the go? Quo automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With Quo's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions, and use those insights to level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with Quo. Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's quo.com/sports. QUO.com/sports.
Nobody hooks you up like Popeyes. The Big Box is the reward that keeps on rewarding. Crack it open and you're greeted by 2 pieces of crispy signature chicken. Or if you want, 3 tenders, nestled in there with the 2 sides speaking to you most in this moment. You got that biscuit, and what are you waiting for? Dig right on in. That's feast mode activated, and you're in big box business for $6. Love that chicken from Popeyes. At participating U.S. restaurants, price may vary, tax extra.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
The New Orleans Saints are making a switch at quarterback. Tyler Shuck has been named New Orleans starter over Spencer Rattler for their upcoming game against the LA Rams. Rattler was benched during the Saints' blowout loss to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. A really rough pick 6 in that one too. Bump, I have to say, I didn't know that Spencer Rattler would run away with this one. It always felt like a very unstable, uncertain quarterback situation. I always feel bad for guys when they're benched, though. What do you think Shuck's going to do, though?
I think he's a mobile quarterback. He has a good arm. I foresee interceptions. I foresee fumbles. I foresee sacks because he's a new guy. And that's what happens, especially when you're playing for the New Orleans Saints, who are under construction right now. I'm excited for him. I think he will make some plays, but it's inevitable. He's a rookie quarterback.
Dan Quinn felt his Commanders team brought the energy early in their Monday night loss to the Chiefs, but ultimately let opportunities slip by. This is what he said post-game.
I thought heading into the game and early in, the energy, the juice, and the speed, I saw and felt that from the minute we stepped on the field, and that's honestly what we were looking for. But man, did we leave a lot of opportunities out there tonight, and you cannot leave that many chances out there and expect to win, especially against this team. Not capitalizing on the turnovers, not winning our 4th downs. They did. It was great to see us getting some of the takeaways. That's been an emphasis of what we've been hitting on. But, leaving here, you cannot leave that many opportunities out there and walk away from this place with a win. Like the intensity of the first half, but I just thought the opportunities for us to make our mark, and we didn't nail those. So we're not going to walk away from here with a win and miss those ops.
Not wrong in that they did lose out on some opportunities there with some takeaways. But overall, man, the Chiefs also made the most of their opportunities. I mean, 432 net yards for Kansas City against 260 for the Commanders. I think that Dan can't say it, but they clearly had some other issues there. In addition to Daniels not even starting.
Yeah, he couldn't run the ball, 60 yards on the ground. Lost time of possession, 1 for 2 in the red zone. Chiefs were 4 for 4. They were good on 3rd down, 7 for 12, 0 for 2 on 4th. You go into the half tied at 7-7, you're feeling good about your chances. But then you come out the tunnel, and Kansas City puts up a quick 14, and you felt like from there it was all bad.
Yeah. I mean, interceptions by both teams to start the game definitely made you feel like it was anyone's contest, like anyone can take this one.
Yeah.
But the Chiefs are just undeniable sometimes. We'll just find a way. Marquez Valdez-Scantling will be suiting up for his 3rd team this season after signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers. MVS was released by the 49ers from their injured reserve list following Week 5. He's reuniting with Aaron Rodgers, with whom he played for 4 seasons in Green Bay from 2018 to 2021.
2 of the worst takes I've made on this show.
Okay.
Drake May not going to be a baller.
Okay.
False.
Okay.
And MVS is going to be the deep threat guy on this team. False. But he hangs around for a reason, and I think it's because he can pick up a playbook, and he does have some ability. When I saw him out there during in training camp, he looked good. He's a guy who will hang around for about 3-4 more years and pick up a couple checks.
You think that the Steelers should still look to acquire a wide receiver at the deadline? There could be a couple moves, whether it's Myers, maybe Olave. I know everyone's wondering whether or not Thomas Jr. is going to be one of those.
Who's Myers?
Jacoby.
With the Raiders? Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple guys. It feels like a lot of wide receiver and edge rusher talk.
Yeah, I think receiver is the easier position to move around. Receiver or running back, because you can literally just tell them what to do in the huddle and they'll be good to go. But the Steelers have an okay receiving core. I thought Roman Wilson out of Michigan was going to be a bit more better than he is now. So no, I could see them trying to enhance that, because you have Aaron Rodgers, who's playing at a high level right now. He's not playing bad ball. I know he lost his last game, but he looks good. 16 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 1,400 yards. He's still got some game left in him. So yeah, if I am the Steelers, I'm looking to just keep adding these weapons, because Aaron is getting the ball out.
Well, you got to be an incredibly likable player to have a division rival applaud you as you leave a field. But that's what happened with Cam Scadaboo, Giants running back who underwent surgery in a Philadelphia area hospital on Sunday to repair his dislocated ankle. We already knew that. A standing ovation as he was leaving. I think too, like, it's an injury. It's serious. People are happy that you're, okay enough to, be waving as you're going off the field. This is the new news, though. He was visited by a surprise guest while he was at that Philly hospital. Eagles head of security, Dom DeSandro. Dom, went to deliver the rookie running back pizza and cheesesteaks.
Nice of him. That's how you know
really
this.
Nice.
He's a fan favorite.
Yeah.
Even if you're playing against him, you can appreciate how he approaches life in the game. There's a youthfulness about him that I think can get lost in the NFL, because you get into those locker rooms sometimes and it can be stiff. It's all business, which it is, but you got to remember you're playing a game, and I think that's what Scadaboo does for folks.
I think he's also got a brashness and a toughness that is embraced simultaneously by New York and Philadelphia audiences.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, Philly fans, I'm grouping them together, yes, but I think it's a fair stereotype, love that kind of personality with a player.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the reason that Nick Sirianni was initially seen as like, oh, he's a perfect fit, because he's kind of brash and abrasive. Like, got like a lot of personality to him that's very obvious. Let's get back to the Chiefs for a minute here. The Chiefs seem to be doing just fine after their 0-2 start. I've almost forgotten it now. Dan Graziano says they're back to being their dangerous selves. Take a listen to this.
The Chiefs are still the team that you have to go through in the AFC, and this is the best their offense has looked in years. Now, talking to people there in camp in the summertime, they felt like the offense was really going to hit the ground running this year. They felt like things were in place. Then they find out about the Rashee Rice suspension right before the season. Then Xavier Worthy gets hurt on the third play of the opener, and all of a sudden there's a couple games where they're not themselves because they don't have their guys. Well, now they have their guys. Rice back from suspension, Worthy back from the injury, and you can see how different it looks. They have pass protection. By the way, even -2 starting offensive linemen last night, they're still protecting Patrick Mahomes well, and they have more speed and more dynamic playmakers in that receiving group than they had over the past couple of years. So they're incredibly dangerous. And by the way, the defense played well last night too.
Bump, here's what I love about the Chiefs' next 3 games. Any challenge to, what do you mean the Chiefs are the team you have to go through in the AFC? They don't even have the best record. Kind of gets to be answered and talked about in these 3 games. Their next 3 opponents, the Bills this Sunday, the Broncos on the 16th, and then the Colts on the 23rd.
It always feels like they have a tough schedule. But there's always a Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen matchup, Pat Mahomes, Lamar. Granted, for years, the better quarterbacks have been in the AFC. And yeah, you're right. They're top 5 overall when it comes to offense. They're top 10 run game. They've been protecting the quarterback. Their points per game, they're top 4 or 5. They're well-rounded. I never panicked once with this team, though. You kind of see what was going on, and that was Jeffri, right? That was talking right there?
Dan Graziano.
Dan Graziano. He pointed out the things that have been going wrong. Sure. Rashee Rice was out. Xavier Worthy gets banged up. Travis Kelce cannot be the number 1 option anymore. Now that he has some help, he's playing a bit more better football. We got like 90 yards and a touchdown the other night. So, yeah, they're looking like champs again. Really
curious to see. The Chiefs' defense has been pretty solid. I'm looking at where they are for rushing yards per game. They are 11th. Allowed. So they're just outside of the top 10 against the run defensively. I think that's going to be a really interesting thing to test in these weeks as well. Not necessarily just with the Broncos, but the Bills are the number 1 team in rushing yards per game offensively. Colts are also the rushing yards leader individually, Jonathan Taylor. I think it's a really fascinating test for Kansas City, because I got to be honest, when Dan said the road in the AFC still goes through Kansas City, I did pause. Like, that's the first time in a long time that I've even hesitated and gone, are we sure? Are we positive?
Never doubted them once.
Never. You would not have found me questioning the Chiefs, I'll tell you what. We now know who was responsible for the Ravens taking their ping pong table out of the locker room, Lamar Jackson himself.
I told Kaneko, our head equipment guy, I told him to take all the games, ping pong, turn the TVs off. If we could have took the TVs out, they would have been out too, but I appreciate Mr. Steve for putting that in there for us, but yeah, we had to focus. I wouldn't say people don't take the job serious, don't get me wrong, but like, I didn't feel like it was the time for that. We got a lot of work. We got a lot of work to do.
Lamar's responsible.
Hey, when my kids are acting up, PS5 gone, Xbox gone. So yeah, this is what you do, and I like that because he's becoming more vocal. He's not really a vocal guy when it comes to leadership and whatnot. He's more lead by example type of dude. But when you're 2-5, yeah, things got to change. They're not used to being here. They're usually 4 or 5 games over 500 at this time of the year. Things are rolling. So I like the switch up. Big ups, Lamar.
All right, we're going to get back to the Mariners at 1. The latest from Jeff Passan.
Wyman and Bob.
It's going to take a bit for this team, I think, to get past this moment.
Every afternoon at 2.
To be that close, and you were just steps away, and you came up short. Some of them sat in that dugout and watched the Jays out there celebrating, and they're going to use that as fuel.
You're never going to be happy unless you win the last game, right?
Yeah, but somebody's always going home disappointed, and hopefully it's the Blue Jays.
Yeah, that'll be easy to root for the Dodgers.
Plus, they've got my favorite non-Mariner, Mookie.
That's right, Mookie.
Love Mookie.
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
With football season comes colder weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here with Keith Dashafi from locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. So Keith, what's your next big play?
Well, Steve, right now get 40% off qualifying installs or no payments and no interest for 12 months on approved credit.
Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
Ryan Roland Smith here. For more than 35 years, the NBA Health Insurance Trust has been helping local builders, contractors, and their employees save money and gain peace of mind. They offer customized group health plans from the state's leading insurance providers. Small and mid-sized businesses deserve big healthcare access. The NBA Health Trust brings you the coverage you want at a price you can trust. Find out more at MBAHealthTrust.com. That's MBAHealthTrust.com.
Every time I turn around, my friends at Pure Talk give me one more reason to feel good about switching. This month, for instance, they're supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat veterans struggling with PTSD. The result? They're saving lives on both ends of the leash. This is why I switched to Pure Talk. I like being in business with an American wireless company who shares my values. Yeah, I appreciate unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and I bet you will too. But I think you'll really appreciate doing business with a company who gives back to the men and women who volunteered to defend our country. Just dial pound 250, say micro. With Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team, you can switch in as little as 10 minutes. Again, dial pound 250, say micro, to switch to an American wireless company who actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Stacy here, and if you're in the market to sell your car or explore getting a new one, I have to tell you about the coolest thing. It's Wayscar Ford's vehicle profit sharing program. Here's how it works. You sell them your old car at fair market value. You can sell it that day, get paid right away. The whole thing takes about 30 minutes. Then when they resell it, they split the profit 50-50 with you. It's not a consignment. It's a way for a trusted local dealership to avoid things like auction fees and then split savings with an actual customer. Listen. I am someone who sold an old car years ago and got completely ripped off. It was also later involved in a crime. I don't have enough time to tell you about it. It's another story for another day. But I wish I would have known about this program, and it's why I'm telling you about it now. Other people are finding out Wayscar Ford just surpassed sharing over $1 million with customers who have sold them their cars. Sell your car for top dollar and get a share in half the profit when Wayscar Ford resells it. Why would you want to sell your car anywhere else? WayscarFord.com. That's WayscarFord.com.
Seattle Sports has your chance to win 4 tickets to the Seahawks game, Sunday, November 9th. Head to the Seattle Sports app, click the Win tab in the bottom right corner, and enter to win. You can enter once per day, so the more times you enter through the Seattle Sports app, the better your odds. Do it every day, October 28th through November 3rd. Details and rules at seattlesports.com/win. From the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports. Touchdown! Seahawks! Ken Walker III! Get everything Seahawks at seattlesports.com.
Why is K2 Vision RLE a permanent solution to glasses, contacts, and readers? How is it that you'll never develop a cataract after K2 Vision RLE? And how is RLE different from LASIK?
Hey, it's Doctors King and Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. We'll answer those questions and others when you join us for our free live webinar this Thursday at noon. Andy, what are some of the other questions you hear?
Well, how long is the procedure and recovery? Or who's a good candidate for RLE?
And we'll also answer, how much does RLE cost? Is there financing available? Does insurance pay for RLE?
Find out how K2 Vision RLE is the permanent solution to glasses, contacts, and readers.
And cataracts too.
Right, no more cataracts.
K2 Vision's free live webinar this Thursday at noon. Space will be limited, so register now at k2visionrle.com.
Join us at our free live webinar this Thursday at noon. Sign up at k2visionrle.com.
Hey, Brock Ewart here. For my friends at People Come First or PCF Construction Group, are you tired of just grilling in the cold and rain every winter in the Northwest? Well, with a patio cover, heater, and fireplace from PCF, you can enjoy your outdoor deck or patio all year long, staying warm and dry, even in the wintry months. And I have a special offer for you. PCF's Black Friday sale runs through November, and you can get up to 20% off your entire project, plus no payments and no interest until 2027. Most people don't consider building a deck in winter, but if you want yours ready by next spring and summer, then contact PCF right now to start planning. Spend the winter dreaming, designing, and approving your project so you're ready to build by the spring. Remember, planning and permits take time, so get started right now. Find all the offer details, get project ideas, and browse photos at pcfgroup.com or call 425-629-8476. That's 425-629-8476, pcfgroup.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
The three biggest Seahawks questions heading into the second half, and then what we learned from Mike Macdonald about each of them during his press conference yesterday. So I wrote down as the three questions, who's your pass game outside of JSN? Can you get the run game going? And are injured defensive stars on track to return for week 9? There are some other questions here like, hey, what's going on with third downs that are kind of interspersed here, but those are the three that I want to focus on. So let's start with the target share for pass catchers, JSN, overwhelmingly getting the majority of those shares. Mike Macdonald was asked if they want to even that out.
Well, we want to include everybody. We have some great skill players on offense that have done some great things after the catch and down the field. It's not like we're just forcing the ball to Jax. I mean, he's a primary on a lot of concepts we're running, and as well he should be. But there's also things where he's second or third in the progression, the ball's finding him too. So I'd say both,
Okay, so yeah, we want to get other guys some targets, but like Jackson's also finding himself open and he's doing a great job, and we're not going to fight that. I don't want to say what's your concern level, Bump, but what's something that maybe you've been thinking about when it comes to Jackson Smith and Jigba's volume of targets in the second half and whether or not they're sustainable?
Was a concern?
Yeah, like I guess what I'm saying is it a problem at all?
No, it's not a problem. Top receivers in the game get like 150 targets, and he's one of the top receivers in the game. He's got 70 targets. Cooper Kupp has 33, Barner 22, Elijah Royal 17, Horton 18. I'm fine. If he's open, throw him the dang ball. It's as simple as that. I used to coach a kid who's in the NFL now, and there were parents who would just get on me. Why is he getting the ball so much? Because he can ball? Because he helps us win ball games? Why wouldn't you want your best player to touch the football as many times as possible? So, no, I see no concern with it, man, because you still got A.J. Barner with 4 touchdowns. Cooper has 1. You got a Horton with 3. And Jason has 4. If you look at just how, I guess, the touchdowns are distributed, it's pretty even. You get into the red zone, you got multiple options. But heck no. Give that man 70 more targets this second half of the season.
Absolutely fair. Is there a candidate outside of Jackson Smith and Jigba, obviously, but a candidate on this team where you think, you know what, I do see a bigger second half for this person?
Oh, it's Horton all day. Horton. I think that I had one of my 4-down territories that I expect him to have a big second half because JSN is going to attract a lot of attention. And sometimes even if you get that attention, you can still get open. But no, you need Horton to pop. You need him to have 2 or 3 more touchdowns. He got 113 yards. He finished the season around 400 or 500 yards, 5 to 6 touchdowns. That's going to be a success for me.
That's that on that. Let's get to the run game here. My second question was, can you get the run game going? Can you make the run game a little more consistent? This is what Mike Macdonald said.
It's everything, and I think we're on the right track. We have a probably better focus, better understanding of what we do well and what we don't do as well, how we build things, who's out there, that sort of thing. But I think we don't need wholesale changes. We need to keep attacking it. There's detail involved. There's operation involved, game plan, scheme, kind of all the above is room for improvement. And I think we saw last game, we took a stride. We just got to keep moving in that direction.
So Mike Macdonald says, look, there isn't one single problem, but we don't think we need wholesale changes, and we think we're on the right track. Do you agree?
I agree you don't need wholesale changes. I agree they are on the right track. I think that they're just a block or two away from really getting it. And I know overall in the run game, averaging a 106 per game. Not great. Let's see where they are when it comes to anyway. 106 per game. Their attempts, they're still running the football. They're still giving it a good go. Yeah. 202 attempts on the year. We talked about a position that could help. If that position gets better at the run game, it will help. But I think it's a collective effort, man. It takes 5, right? I've said this before. My high school coach used to say I need a nickel, not 5 pennies on that offensive line. So they need to form into a nickel.
Okay, the third question I don't have sound for. I'm just going to tell you guys what he said because it's not a true update yet. And then we're going to talk about how important it is to get defensive guys back. So my third question was, are defensive stars on track to return? The bad news is Mike Macdonald said he's just not going to answer that question yet. So that's the update that you got from Monday. But we are able to talk about it still. And we asked Rob Staton, hey, when you look at some of these guys that have a chance to come back, who's the most important? He said, without question, it's Julian Love.
Yeah, he's the freelance guy. He has the big picture back there at the safety spot. He's typically deeper than the deepest, is what you want from your safety. He's over the top, reliable tackler. And I'm sure when he's out there, there's a sense of comfort that these guys have on the back end. When you're a corner and you know that your safety is going to maybe right some of your wrongs, that allows you to play more freely. I'm not saying that Okada hasn't done a good job. He's done a great job. DeAnthony Bell's done a good job. Nick Mawari when he's back there. Kobe for sure. But the J-Love-Kobe combo is deadly, and we need that combo back.
Yeah, I think, too, like there's kind of that argument of like, oh, they have really good depth, but depth is only really good when you're like, wow, look how much talent you have behind these starters. Suddenly it's not depth. It's just a completely different set of starters. It's a complete, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not impressed with depth when all the depth pieces are there at the same time. That's just an entirely different group. Getting Julian Love back is absolutely massive. As far as a time when we're going to figure out, he said, Wednesday is when they're going to start to give some updates. I would anticipate, just based on how they've been with both Love and Witherspoon, that continues to be a question as the week progresses. Maybe we get a positive update on Wednesday. Yeah, they're back at practice. We hope they can make it through. We'll take it day by day. Maybe that's the update we get tomorrow. But it's just so important to get those guys back. Absolutely massive. Okay, I mentioned that even though those were our 3 questions, I had one other cut that I wanted to play. This one is specifically about third downs, where despite being a really complete team, a really solid team, they're still struggling. They're near the bottom of the league in third down conversion percentage. Mike Macdonald talked about self-scouting that.
We're not there yet. Doing some good things. Protecting the quarterback well. Can improve, though. Having less and shorter third down distances help. Great third down offense is one that really isn't out there on third down. I think it's kind of like the run game. It's like there's a lot of great stuff. We're not there yet, but I think what we're doing is good. It's sound. Guys are executing. We got to do everything better. We got to scheme a little bit better. We got to execute a little bit better, protect it a little bit better. I think once we start doing that, then we'll get better returns.
You know what's fun about Seattle's third down conversion percentage? They're converting a third.
A lot of threes in it.
33.33%. Philadelphia with the exact same.
Their fourth down is nasty, though.
Yeah, that's true.
They treat their
they
third
don't need
down
to convert third
like
down.
second down. You know what I mean?
But yeah, you don't want to be in that group. The Browns, the Jags, and the Titans are three other teams that are struggling there. There's a very positive correlation between struggling on third down and struggling as an offense, with the exception, apparently, of the Seahawks and Eagles.
What's good about that sound was that Mike Macdonald didn't seem frustrated with it. I believe it when he says we're close. Typically, coaches are going to say the right things, but you listen to their tone and let's see their body language, and it tells you something else. With that clip right there, I believe them. I think they're a block or two away.
Yeah.
They're getting there.
Jeff Passan thinks pro sports leagues have made a giant mistake. That's next.
ESPN senior MLB insider Jeff Passan with Brock and Salk.
If you are in the Mariners front office, what are you spending your offseason focusing on? This feels like a beginning, not an end. I see this being the beginning of the best run in the history of this franchise. The sheer number of really good prospects that the Mariners have lead me to believe that they're going to be in this position again.
Get more on the Seattle Sports YouTube page and the Seattle Sports app.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Dino was suffering from a rotator cuff tear in his right shoulder.
Part of the pain is like taking off my shirt. I couldn't even really button my pants. I could actually qualify for a shoulder replacement if I wanted to go that route.
He chose to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
I heard the commercials for Dr. Wagner. I did my research. I thought about surgery, but the recovery time was so long, I didn't want to have to be in a sling. I want to be able to retire in a few months, get back to bike riding and playing golf without any pain in my shoulder.
Dino knew from experience that stem cell therapy works. Dr. Wagner had already helped him recover from osteoarthritis in his thumb, but he's not done yet.
And now 2 years later, I'm having an issue with my left shoulder, so I've got it scheduled, and I'm going to go back to see Dr. Wagner again because it was so successful.
Before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution.
TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-275-1728. That's 800-275-1728.
Hey, it's Dr. Coogan with Eastside Weight Loss Clinic, and it's time to make the final push to the end of the year. Do you want to lose weight, improve your health, and have more energy? We have a proven system and a team of health coaches that have helped over 4,000 people in Washington lose up to 10 to 20% of their body weight in just 8 weeks without expensive injections or uncomfortable side effects. No gimmicks, no tricks, no drugs, just teaching you how to become a fat-burning machine and keep it off long-term. Visit eastsideweightlossclinic.com now to schedule your free consultation.
Yeah, it's Mike Salk here. And just like writing that essay back in high school or maybe in college, starting, that can be the hardest part. Well, Eastside Weight Loss Clinic makes it as easy as possible. They helped me lose 35 pounds in just 60 days. A no-pressure, free 15-minute phone consultation. See if it's right for you. And if it is, you got nothing to lose but the weight itself.
Many clients lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two, and you can do our program remotely from anywhere you live. Schedule your free consultation at eastsideweightlossclinic.com. That's eastsideweightlossclinic.com.
Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Game 4 of the World Series starts tonight at 5 p.m. Shohei Ohtani on the hill for L.A. Shane Bieber gets the start for Toronto. Blue Jays still awaiting results on an MRI for George Springer, who was forced out of last night's game after injuring himself on a swing in the 7th inning. Jays manager John Schneider called it, quote, right side discomfort after the game.
Snapshot brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. We've got some good stuff from Jeff Passan about Josh Naylor and the Mariners. He was on with Brock and Salk this morning, but we're actually going to start with something almost unrelated to the Mariners, but very much related to MLB and sports in general, that Jeff Passan said. I'm going to start with this question. Have we reached the point of no return with legalized gambling? And
yes.
Take that for what you will,
yes.
Whether it means we're always going to have to scandal. Have we reached the point of no return?
Yes.
Why?
Because companies are making way too much money off of it. If it makes money, it makes sense to these people. And once the government starts profiting off of it too, why do you think you can smoke cannabis now? Because the government is making money off of it. It's all about money. And in our society, we feed off of people's addictions, right? Las Vegas, do anything you want to in Las Vegas. Why is Las Vegas there? Because we as humans have that urge to do things that morally just feel wrong. And there's a lot of us that tap into that. Alcohol, cannabis,
any number of
gambling,
sins.
Other things you can do with the
Vices.
opposite person in Vegas. You know what I mean? Like there are things that companies feed into, and once it shows that it can produce revenue, it's a wrap.
Jeff Passan agrees with you in that we are at a point of no return. This is what he told Brock and Salk.
We've reached a point, I fear, in professional sports where the decision makers and the people in charge of the games and the owners and even the players need to start showing some courage and understanding not just what they are doing to the sports world and to their own games, but to a generation of kids to whom gambling has become normalized. I did not used to be this way until I saw it with the younger generation that my children know, but we've put casinos in their pockets and we're acting like all of this is normal. Somebody with courage and with a spine needs to step up and say that a mistake was made when gambling was legalized the way that it was, in the fashion that it was, with the lack of regulation that it has, and that we are only going to find more of these cases the longer this goes on.
I don't think you can strictly outlaw gambling in general. I think that if you do that, you risk, I don't want to say a church and state overlap, but I will say that typically a focus on eliminating things like that. I would group with like eliminating alcohol or whatever, where it just becomes more of a morality question and people are going to have different barometers for what they think is immoral. So I think you do get into some potential issues when you try to say there shouldn't be gambling of any kind at all. Should gambling be strictly to casinos? Maybe certain states. Is that the issue that needs to be righted here?
Man, we've been gambling since the beginning of time.
You can't take it away.
It's
You
impossible. You're not going to take it away. If you do take it away, people are just going to do it illegally.
Right. So what do you do? What's the right answer for you? Like, what do you think that MLB, NFL, NBA, like, what should they do?
Nothing. It's a wrap. It is over. This is going to be a staple in our society from here on out. You as an individual, like you said, Stacy, all right? You said people can't breach contracts.
And I agree with that.
Right?
You need to be a grown-up.
So be a grown-up and have some discipline. And don't gamble. Don't gamble your life away. This is what it is. The jacked up part is that it's just easier for young people to get into it now.
Yes.
Because you do have phones. And I saw this meme. I forgot what state it was, but cars literally pulled over to the side of the road and crossed the border of a state so they can place their bets on their phones. In some states you can't. I think Washington, you can't gamble on your phone. You got to be at the casino, right? It just taps into to our flaws as human beings. So what can they do? Nothing. As far as their players, you could hand out stricter punishments.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you could suspend guys. And this, I saw a conspiracy theory. You like those, right? You ready for this?
I love conspiracy theories,
So,
yes.
Teddy Rozier,
Okay.
a couple years ago or last year, he set out the whole season because of injury. I'm doing air quotes, injury. He's been under investigation for a couple of years now when it comes to his gambling.
That's true.
So this goes back to Michael Jordan, how he retired for 2 or 3 years.
Right.
Michael Jordan is a gambler.
And we
the
all
conspiracy theory is he set out. The NBA essentially said, look, just go away for a couple of years. Slap your hand. We'll slap you on the wrist, and you'll be back ready to go. This is just a thing, and we are just being introduced to it now. Not introduced to it, but it's coming to light more frequently because of just technology.
Yeah.
I've been in locker rooms. We gambled our butt off in the locker room. We gambled on the plane. Any opportunity we had to gamble, we would gamble. I bet you $100 I make this shot.
Yeah. I don't think it's immoral.
No.
I don't. That's me, personally. I don't think it's immoral to gamble. And nor do I think, I don't even know that I fully agree with Jeff Passan on this one. I don't think it's hypocritical for, let's say, ESPN to host something at a casino or to have a gambling partnership.
I got an idea.
Yes.
It's not an original thought. I heard this somewhere.
Okay.
You can't allow people to place bets on a player's failures. Only him hitting or she hitting like high numbers. Like he's gonna hit 30 points. Not he's gonna perform
So you
under.
could never bet the under?
You can't bet under.
I don't know.
That's how you eliminate players getting into that.
Well, one solution, not a solution, but I do think there should be stricter punishments. But here's the problem. If, I don't know, random third string tight end is found to have been on a sports betting or gambling app, placing bets on NFL games. And I think NFL games are maybe the hardest to influence of all
NFL
of them.
games?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
for
let's say
sure.
that happens and that he's found out, okay, and the NFL wants to lay down a lifetime suspension. They decide, like, we're going to lay down the hammer. We are going to make it so that the strongest incentive we can give players to not gamble is that by gambling, you'll be thrown out of the league. Well, what happens if Patrick Mahomes is caught up in it? You're going to kick Patrick Mahomes out of the league?
Never.
No. So what now? I am of the group of people that, and maybe I'm incredibly naive, don't think Shohei Ohtani was gambling. Like, I think he was for real conned. I think he was.
You don't think he had any idea what was going on?
I think it's interesting that his interpreter was pretending to be him to get some of that money.
Interpreter / best friend.
I don't know. I don't think I've been convinced that Ohtani
Don't
was
let
outright
that baby
doing
face
it.
fool you. He knew what was going on.
Okay, I think he knew what was going on.
Yeah.
I don't think he was placing bets and using his interpreter to do it.
No, I don't think that.
I think he was helping his friend and helping cover up for him. and
then it got to
felt
a point
betrayed by him.
where he's like, all right, you got to take
but
this
I don't
fall.
think it was like, oh, Otani's actually working with this bookie. But here's the point that I bring up in mentioning Otani at all. Even though I am, and you can call me naive, part of the group of people that think like, I don't think Otani was doing this. Let's say he was. You cannot kick Otani, the best baseball player maybe ever, out of the league.
Yeah, you can. You just won't.
But that's what I'm saying. And so when people point to the Jordan thing, it's like, well, what punishment can you dole out then? Because it has to be equal. That's all where I think of what does the league do here? That's where I'm the most stuck. It's like, well, how do punishments work? Is it if it happens one time?
You hit their pockets. Hit them where it hurts. You fine the heck out of them. Like Teddy Rozier made $26 million, fine him $3 million. I bet he stopped. I bet he if you set the precedent and you find somebody like that, it's never going to disappear, but it'll stop happening at a high clip.
A second offense would be.
I think 3 strikes you're out.
3 strikes?
3 strikes.
I think a second offense, you're suspended for a year.
It's like when I was in the NFL, the drug policy. You get caught smoking once, you get a slap on the wrist, you get a fine. You get caught smoking twice, then you have to enter this program. 3 times, they were going to kick you out the league.
I would look at it like PEDs in baseball. You get caught once, okay, there's a pretty notable suspension. A second time, that's a really long suspension. Like I see it as pretty serious. Where if you're caught a second time, it needs to be like you're suspended for a year.
Yeah.
I am most intrigued by what Jeff has to say though about like, hey, I have a son, and I noticed that my son and his friends feel a way about sports betting that maybe I didn't when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder what it means for not just my son and his friends when they get older, but for the future players. And this is where I look at that Greg Sankey story that we talked about earlier in the timeline of Greg Sankey telling the NCAA, hey, I urge you guys to revisit whether or not we make gambling legal for our student athletes.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge mistake.
Yeah.
That's where I kind of go, look, I don't think you can put the toothpaste back in the tube when it comes to, I don't know, betting and gambling in general. It just exists, and it always will, even if you outlaw it. I agree with you. People will do it illegally. I don't think you need to. It is wild to me. I cannot believe that the NCAA is seriously considering letting their athletes bet.
I want to know what's the motive behind it. Like, what's the motive of saying, okay, you guys can gamble?
It has
on
to be
professional
financial
games?
related, or it has to be a legal
Like,
thing.
how does it benefit them financially?
Or it was, or maybe it was some kind of lawsuit that they're avoiding, because that's what happened with a lot of the NIL stuff. It's just avoiding certain antitrust lawsuits. Maybe there's something there with sports, banning sports betting was infringing on some kind of right that student athletes had by virtue of technically still being amateurs. And the NCAA is trying to avoid getting sued for something. I don't know. I think it's a massive mistake.
If that's the case, let 18-year-olds try to go to the NFL. I wouldn't recommend it. They're not ready. But, you know, remember when Maurice Clarett and Mike Williams back in the day tried to, after their freshman year, go to the NFL? Like, if you're going to do that, and we don't know if that's the motive, right? But if that is the motive, then that changes a lot of things. If you're going to say, well, it's their right to be able to bet at 18, well, it's their right to work and go to the NFL. But now there's no incentive really to go to the NFL because they're getting paid in college now.
Yeah. I don't know. It's fascinating to me. Curtis, you've been talking about it for a while, just about for the last several stories we've covered on this show about gambling. I know that you've been saying, like, hey, this is just going to get bigger. We're going to find out more. We're going to hear more. We're going to hear more. What did you think about what Jeff had to say this morning?
I thought it was good to hear a national media voice say that, because it just kind of feels like a lot of media outlets kind of sweep this under the rug as though it's like a one-off thing. And I think it is something we need to treat with some seriousness, because all of a sudden now, like, can we truly believe what we're seeing when watching all these sports,
right,
when a huge gambling scandal hits and the integrity of the game, the integrity of the sport is in question? Yeah, I think there needs to be a lot more seriousness with all this stuff going down. And I think the leagues need to still do a better job of teaching their coaches and teaching their players, like, hey, we really cannot mess this up, because if we mess this up now, like, all this goes away. Like this, all this goes away for you. It goes away for the guy sitting next to you. Like that is what that's the doomsday scenario in all this. And like every single gambling scandal that happens, at least in the last like 4 or 5 years, seems to be bigger than the one that preceded it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how much bigger you can get than an active NBA head coach getting arrested by the FBI mid-season.
By being in bed with the mafia.
Yeah, I don't know how much bigger it can get than that, but I would not be shocked if something else were to happen a year or two from now. Like this, it's crazy we're at this point, but also I don't think we should be so surprised that we're at this point, just simply because, you know, when for years and years and years you're told not to do something, and then it gets allowed to you and you run with it. You're given an inch, you take a mile, and that's what it's been with sports gambling ever since it was, you know, given to the states rather than just a federal ruling on all of it. And it feels like, you know, when you give your kids ice cream for dinner one time, they keep asking for it every single night. And it's like, no, I can't, you're going to get sick. It's a bad decision to have this done every single night. So I think that's kind of where it's at right now, is like, we as a society just are not responsible enough yet to handle the responsibility that comes with, you know, being able to gamble in these games night in and night out.
I wanted to save just a couple minutes to go over some of what Jeff had to say about the Mariners. There was a lot of good stuff here. First, on how much competition the Mariners will have for Josh Naylor.
A first baseman in free agency, they don't do great. We've seen this with Pete Alonso. We've seen this with Freddie Freeman. The reason Freddie Freeman is a Dodger is because of the industry aversion to signing first basemen to long-term contracts in Major League Baseball. Now, here's why I think Naylor's a little bit different. Or at least should be treated a little bit differently. His age. Like, we're still talking about a guy who's 27 years old. And Freeman, when he signed with the Dodgers, had gone into free agency. I think he was 31, but went into free agency after the Braves did not want to re-sign him and couldn't really find an offer all that substantive. He almost defaulted to the Dodgers. You know, the notion that this guy would have difficulty finding a home was just illogical, but that's where the Mariners are right now.
I think it's interesting to look at it as Naylor. It sounds dumb to say not a Juan Soto thing, but what I mean is that, like, there will certainly be other suitors. The Mariners feel primed to be able to give Naylor a contract and bring him back.
They do, and they put in the work. If they didn't have the season that they had, if there wasn't the chemistry that we see on the baseball field, then I think it'd be more difficult. But they better come correct. They better not lowball. They better match or beat whatever other offers he has. Mm-hmm. This is a defining moment. And it's weird we're talking about first baseman Josh Naylor as a defining moment when signing Cal was a defining moment, signing Julio early, jacked up on Evan White. I think this, to me, is the bigger move because of the timing of it. You know, I think those were huge moves, Cal and Julio or whatnot, but it's clear what this dude brought to this team.
Mm-hmm. And it's like the messaging you're sending to fans. Will Naylor steal as many bases for you in 2026? No. It's just statistically unlikely to happen. Does bringing Naylor back, no matter what he does on the baseball field itself, impact your clubhouse in a really positive way? Yes, you know that to be true. And I think, too, there's this kind of feeling. Like, I remember being younger, the entire idea was like, and again, this is through the lens of a kid, but it was like, oh, the Mariners, they're just a farm system for the Yankees. Mm-hmm. And the idea was, no matter who you have, bigger teams will take your stars. And if you're going to say run it back, you got to keep those pieces. You can't just run it back based on, oh, we want to go to a World Series, so let's roll out these first and second year players that spent last season at AAA Tacoma.
That's what's scary, is that
worrying that
we have to see some of those guys.
Yeah.
But you don't want to rely on all those guys. I don't want to see these young men at the bottom of the order and us dependent on them. You know, ease them in, sprinkle them in, and do it that way. But to run it back, you got to get Naylor.
Yeah, you got to bring back
the pieces.
We want to send one of you and 3 friends to watch the Seattle Seahawks game on November 9th against the Arizona Cardinals. All you need to do is open the Seattle Sports app and click the Win tab to find out how. If you don't already have the app, text the word app to 866-979-3776, and we'll send you a link to download. Enter daily to increase your chances to win. This contest runs through Monday, November 3rd. Let's get to 4 Down territory.
This is 4 Down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down, Bump. Who are you excited to see play this weekend?
Tyler Shuck. Drafted in the second round, 8th pick in the second round out of Louisville. He is going to get his start. Spencer Rattler. He actually started the season off pretty good. I believe when the Hawks played Spencer Rattler, he had like 5 touchdowns, no interceptions, doing some good things. And then the Seahawks, I believe, forced his first turnover. But no, I want to see him go. It's time. This is the time of year where if there's a question at quarterback, you're playing your backup at this point. I think Cleveland got a head start there. Titans have to deal with Cam Ward. But no, Tyler Shuck, it's going to be interesting to see how he looks. He's a mobile quarterback. He's bigger, has a strong arm. This is hopefully Kellen Moore's future here, our franchise quarterback. But it's going to be tough, man. The Saints don't have a lot going on over there. They're taking on the Rams this week. That's going to be tough. But after that, it eases up a little bit with the Panthers, the Falcons, and the Dolphins.
Second down. What do you think the Seahawks defense allows the offense to do?
This defense allows the offense to go forward on 4th down more often if they want to. If you are in the ops territory, you're around the 40, 45, 35, and Myers doesn't have it that day. Maybe it's windy or whatnot. Because your defense is playing so good, I think this allows you to be more aggressive on 4th down. I firmly believe that the Eagles look at 3rd down and 2nd down when they cross enemy territory because they know, let's just get it within 1 or 2 yards. We're going to tush push this thing. I'm not saying tush push, but be a bit more aggressive. I trust in this defense. Top 5 in sacks. Top 5 when it comes to hurries, hitting the quarterback. Got to do better in the pass game. But because your defense is playing so well, be aggressive on 4th down.
I like that point because they don't really go for it, but you're right. It's like, well, look, you know who shouldn't be going for it? The Cowboys. Or maybe they should just so they can score, but definitely not deep in their own territory. 3rd down. Power rankings have been released. So how are you feeling about where the Seahawks landed?
We've seen the Seahawks anywhere from 3 to 13.
Which is low.
3 is too high. 13 is too low. 6, 7.
You did it on purpose this time.
6, 7. That's where I think that should be 6, 7, or 8. So I think you have to take into account their flaws, like the run game, the pass defense. But overall, they're a solid football team. We spoke to Jeffri, how do you say his last name?
Chadiha
earlier, and he said they're a balanced team, and that's without the run game really hitting the way that we wanted to hit. So, yeah, 6, 7, 8, I think, is where they should be. 3 too high, 13 too low. Stop with the disrespect.
I cannot think of 12 teams that, without a doubt in my mind, are better than the Seahawks.
No.
There are teams with worse records that you'd put ahead of them. Simply because they've been there before. Like maybe you'd look at the Chiefs and you go, I believe more in the Chiefs, who might actually have 5 wins now than I do the Seahawks. Sure. Okay, fine.
5 and 3.
12 teams over the Seahawks. I think at that point you mentioned like you probably have the Rams. You might even have the 49ers over Seattle if that's how you rank them.
You must. If they're 13, yeah, you must have the Niners ahead of them.
4th down. 206 says Bump is worse than those kids with 6, 7.
Hey, I'm on it. I'm going to destroy that. I'm going to make it so no kids ever want to say that again.
This is you sacrificing yourself.
Yes.
You all are welcome
that
I'm taking this out.
Take it out of your children's vocabulary.
Speaking of our interview with Jeffri Chadiha, anything stand out?
Yeah, he mentioned that Seahawks is a balanced team. We just talked about that. He agrees that, man, as good of a season Jonathan Taylor is having, he's probably not going to get MVP.
Such a bummer.
That's up to the quarterbacks. He said the tush push is successful because of the personnel. I agree there. So what should defenses do? Should they just put some 300-pound offensive linemen in there and just try to get low and combat it that way? He said Green Bay is the best team in the NFC. That means my guy Jordan Love is still up for the MVP. And he said Seahawks are the 3rd best team in the NFC. I can see that record-wise when you take everything into account, they're 4th overall. But yeah, it was a good conversation with Jeffri. I appreciated it, and those were the notes.
Jonathan Taylor has 14 rushing touchdowns. He's not on pace for 31, but close. 31 being the record, obviously. If he does surpass 31, is he MVP?
Has to be. Who got 31?
Is that LaDainian?
Yeah. Has to be. It's 31 overall, right?
Oh, is it
not
combined?
Yeah, it's got to be
single
overall.
season total. Yeah, total touchdowns by running back with 31. Rushing touchdowns is 28. 14 through week 8. I mean, and they're playing some bad teams still to come.
He's got to get it. He has to.
I don't think it's any more defined by over 2,000 yards. I thought that would be the thing that would do it, but we know very clearly that it's not enough. It wasn't enough for Saquon's season. It wasn't enough for Derrick Henry's season.
Chris Johnson,
CJ2K, yeah. But I wonder if the touchdowns one sends it over the top.
I think that
if he gets 29 rushing touchdowns, it has to be.
He's on his way.
I know.
Stay healthy.
Let's see what's on tonight.
What's on tonight with Bump and Stacy, brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot. Now, here's what's on tonight.
Tune in for Game 4 of the World Series immediately following Wyman and Bob. Coverage starts at 5 p.m. on Seattle Sports. Hype Train coming your way next.
Wyman and Bob.
It's going to take a bit for this team, I think, to get past this moment.
Every afternoon at 2.
You know, to be that close. You were just steps away, and you came up short. Some of them sat in that dugout and watched the Jays out there celebrating, and they're going to use that as fuel.
You're never going to be happy unless you win the last game, right?
Yeah, but somebody's always going home disappointed, and hopefully it's the Blue Jays.
Yeah, that'll be easy to root for the Dodgers.
Plus, they've got my favorite non-Mariner, Mookie
Betts. That's right, Mookie.
Love Mookie.
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Start having fun. Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. At Bible Law Group, we know how important voting is. That's why we're partnering with Seattle's own rock star Aaron Jones to rock the vote Thursday, October 30th at the Queen Anne Beer Hall. Vote and enjoy delicious smash burgers with Aaron and local bands by getting your ticket at bit.ly/BibleRock. If you've misplaced your ballot, don't panic. In Washington, you can still print a provisional ballot online and drop it in any official ballot box by November 4th. When prayer just ain't cutting it for your legal needs, we suggest 2 things: vote and call Bible Law Group.
You gave years, maybe decades to your job. You showed up, worked hard, and planned for retirement. But now the company's changed, or maybe you've taken a buyout or been forced into early retirement. So what happens next? I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. And if you've built up a 401k or thrift savings plan, now is the time to ask, is that money really working for you? Many workplace retirement plans offer limited options and even less guidance. At Trajan Wealth, we help people just like you roll over their accounts into IRAs with more flexibility and personalized investment strategies built around your goals. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a personalized plan. We operate on veteran values, service, trust, and doing what's right. Your next chapter starts now. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-466-3300. That's 206-466-3300.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
When businesses thrive, communities score. That's why Bank of America is the official bank of FIFA World Cup here in Seattle. And our more than 95 local business specialists are ready to help your business win. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. Quo, formerly OpenPhone, gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. Quo lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? Quo automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With Quo's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions and use those insights to level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with Quo. Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's quo.com/sports. QUO.com/sports.
This is the home of the Seahawks.
Going to let one fly deep. Got a man out there. Ball is caught down at the 10-yard line, and it's JSN.
Seattle Sports.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Michael is in his 70s, and he was dealing with an injury.
I had tears in my rotator cuff. Just the discomfort of going about everyday life. Day-to-day things were not comfortable or almost impossible, but just being inactive was troubling.
He was in a great deal of pain.
I started trying to learn how to brush my teeth with my left hand, and you can't do it. It was ridiculous.
Searching for answers, Michael found Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine, where he underwent stem cell therapy.
You know, I played basketball Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and so I'm getting my shot back. It's not back to where it was, but hey, before I couldn't even do anything. So 100% improvement of what it was.
Wow, that's great to hear. Would you recommend stem cell therapy to others?
I can share without a doubt that it helped me, and I'm grateful for that.
Whether it's a shoulder, hip, or knee, before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
What I need to know coming your way in 15. You can get those questions in now, though. 866-979-3776. Any question, text it now. Right now, let's head to the station for Hype Train. Dodgers take game 3 of an 18-inning World Series game, thanks to Freddie Freeman's walk-off home run. But the World Series will go back to Toronto for game 6. Bump, are you boarding?
Curtis, I'm from Culver City, California.
Yeah?
Which is considered West Los Angeles.
That's right.
We ain't going back to Canada. Leave your passports, rip them up, no stamps needed. It's a wrap, son.
The World Series goes back to Toronto for Game 6. Bump said, burn the passports, throw your, what's it called, your extended license?
Yeah, your expanded.
Expanded license? What is it called?
Enhanced. There we go.
Enhanced license. Throw it away. You don't need it, except to drive. Don't throw it away. Curtis, World Series goes back to Toronto for Game 6.
You said Culver City's West Los Angeles?
West Los Angeles.
You know what the liveliest and trendiest part of Toronto is? West Side!
I
appreciate you setting me up for that one.
Matt, go ahead and pull that.
I did a quick Google search of West Toronto. And
Final, we're going to end the show with Curtis just yelling West Side.
Yeah, all right.
So I take it you're boarding, Curtis.
Yeah, we're boarding the train, yeah.
I think the Dodgers take it. I do think it goes back to Toronto, though, just with how close that game was, the back and forth. 37 combined runners left stranded. Yeah, I think it goes back to Game 6. Closely matched. Sorry.
Got some haters.
Haters? I think the Dodgers get it done. I think
Yeah.
it goes to Toronto. Look, we love and support you.
Listen, no Bieber, no Drake.
And now no passport.
All right, we don't
No
mess with
Weeknd?
Canada right now. No Weekend.
Yeah.
Who else is from Canada? That's all I know.
Next.
They got a prime minister over there?
They sure do.
That's in Ottawa. That's not Toronto.
All right.
No, they have a prime minister.
Yes, I know. The prime minister resides in Ottawa.
Oh,
but you know what I'm saying, Curtis.
Yeah.
He's saying over there as in north of the border.
Over there.
Over there in Canada. The Mariners re-signed, speaking of Canadians, Josh Naylor and Jorge Polanco.
Oh, yeah, they got to get it done. They're going to get it done.
Both guys?
If they don't get it done, I'm going to read that letter that Staton put out in the Seattle Times. I'm going to read it too. I'm going to stand on his lawn and say, Staton, you told us that there's more work to do. You got to bring back these guys. It gets done.
The Mariners re-signed Josh Naylor and Jorge Polanco. Bump is boarding. Curtis, or you?
Oh, it would be incredible if they were able to get both. Which is funny because, like, if you had presented this scenario to somebody 365 days ago, they'd be like, you want to bring back Jorge Polanco
And Josh
again?
Naylor, he's a Diamondback.
How
What are you
did
talking
Josh
about?
Naylor get here? But I think bringing both back would set this team up. It would at least get him as close to what the 2025 version was coming into opening day. I think, yes, it happens. We're boarding this train. And the reason why I think so is because Jorge Polanco had his choice to go anywhere he wanted. Well, not really anywhere he wanted in baseball.
But other places.
Namely Houston, which is a much better hitter's ballpark than Seattle. And he chose to return here, even after all the struggles that he had in 2024. So I think there might be a little pull here to keep Jorge Polanco in town. And I think Josh Naylor he loves it here.
I'm boarding this train, too. All aboard! All aboard. Next up, the NFL MVP will go to someone other than a quarterback.
I got to respond to this real quick. Nickelback and Avril Lavigne are from Canada. I can't cut Avril Lavigne, sorry.
Yeah. No, I get it.
What about
maybe we
Nickelback?
can organize a trade.
I feel like you could rip a Nickelback song in karaoke.
Who are you willing to give up
definitely-
who are you willing to give up to keep Avril Lavigne?
Who I want to give up like an American?
Like an American
like a
star.
swap?
Yeah, like a swap. A trade.
You know what?
Got to be a big name.
Unpopular. What I'm going to say, I'll give Carrie Underwood. She dates a hockey player anyway. She's married to a hockey player. So take Carrie and take Avril Lavigne.
Okay.
When was the last time Carrie Underwood had a bop? Like, it's been a while.
Sunday Night Football?
Yeah.
That's about it.
And like,
She's got a
that's
great
not
voice,
even
though.
her original song.
She gets paid $1 million every time.
Every time?
Every time.
Every time.
Yes.
Wow. She's
Crazy.
raking.
Heck of a deal.
Someone other than a quarterback will win NFL MVP.
No, it's a quarterback award.
No matter what
It's
happens?
going to go to Jordan Love. I told you this week 0. Jordan Love.
Someone other than a quarterback will win NFL MVP. Bump said, absolutely not. No matter what happens, it's a quarterback award, and it's probably going to Jordan Love. Curtis.
Yeah, every year we try to make the case for somebody else besides a quarterback, and it's like, oh, yeah, maybe this is the year. And Jonathan Taylor has the best case of anybody, but I don't see it happening. I don't know if he's got the sauce needed to be the MVP in the voters' eyes. I think his teammate Daniel Jones might even snake some votes. Drake May has been incredible to start the year, a 75% completion percentage.
And
That's
Mahomes
ridiculous.
a front runner now.
Exactly. Mahomes bringing his team back from the dead when they were 0-2. Now they're 5-3. So, I think a lot of these quarterbacks are starting to strengthen their case here. Not to take anything away from Jonathan Taylor, but I don't see it. It's going to have to take just the most ridiculous season from a running back ever to potentially give it to him. And I mean, same with a receiver too. Maybe somebody's going to have to break Calvin Johnson's record and then also get 15 touchdowns.
I do think it would be, quote, easier, because I'm with you guys. I'm also boarding this train. I don't think that anyone outside of a quarterback is going to win it, or maybe will again. I do think, though, that it's going to be easier one day, maybe, to make the case for a running back, which I think people in their mind can more easily separate from. Like, if you have a wide receiver, let's say Jackson Smith-Njigba breaks the all-time receiving yards record. Well, that also means Sam Darnold threw for at least 4,000 yards.
Hella yards.
That's what I'm saying. So it's harder to separate for a wide receiver, but a running back, especially a running back with a team that either was bad or a quarterback that isn't seen as a superstar, like where the running back is the star, which is the case.
We have
in
a running
Indy.
back rush for 1,000 and receive for 1,000, and he still didn't get that thing. It's a QB award. Your
Who won it that
argument is
year?
correct.
Yeah.
But it's 2019.
Oh, no, Mahomes, I think. Or Lamar.
I think it was Lamar.
That might have been Lamar.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hard to argue against because he did run it for 1,000 too. Next and last one here. Earlier, I played some sound from Dan Graziano saying that the road to the Super Bowl, at least in terms of the AFC, still goes through Kansas City. But he's wrong. Your last hype train. The Colts are the best team in the AFC.
Today they are. Next week, who knows? But today.
But you're boarding.
Yes.
Today, you're punching your ticket.
Mm-hmm.
Curtis.
I am going to take a page out of my man. No, I don't know about Dan Graziano saying it goes through Kansas City right now. Buffalo with James Cook, they had, 200-plus rushing yards on Sunday. I'm still a believer in the Bills, so I'm not going to board this train, although I think the Colts are obviously a team that you got to pay attention to. And that definitely changed the outlook on that game against the Seahawks. What is it? Early December against them here in Seattle. That one's going to be a real tough matchup for them. I think it's week 15? Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that one, but I still think the Bills and the Chiefs, they've been doing it longer than the Colts have, so I'm going to take that experience over what Indy's got going.
I'm boarding this train. Much like Bump, this is subject to change, but it doesn't feel like luck. Are they benefiting from a slightly easier schedule? Yes, but it does not feel like pure luck that Indy is 7-1. They're genuinely having a good season, and you can look at almost any stat and support that argument. Quickly, before we get to what I need to know, a couple people texting in about, well, why can't a defensive player win MVP and why can't whatever?
1986.
That's what I'm saying. It's not that we fundamentally think this should be a quarterback award, but I don't know how you can argue that it has become anything but that.
And we had a guy have 20-something sacks a few years ago, and Watt, and he didn't win it.
Yeah. He had an unbelievable season, but that's why they now are like, oh, Defensive Player of the Year, congrats.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jonathan Taylor, Offensive Player of the Year, congrats, here you go. It's it's not fair, but that's what it's become.
But what's the centerpiece of every football
quarterback.
team? It's the quarterback.
Yeah. Get your questions in for what I need to know, 866-979-3776. That's next.
Get inside the huddle.
The handoff inside. He's going to go. Touchdown, Seahawks.
Taking you inside the VMAC every week. Thursdays, noon to 2.
Our guys show up to play.
Player interviews.
It's obviously been paying off. Just going to continue to do that.
Previewing this week's matchup.
We'll say they come out and just run the ball down the Niners' throats.
And everything Seahawks.
If anybody had a doubt, don't.
The Huddle. Every Thursday at noon. Exclusively on the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports.
The stock market's on fire. AI stocks are performing at all-time levels. We hope you, like many of our investors, have taken advantage of it. A famous man once said, buy low, sell high. There's also $8 trillion of cash sitting on the sidelines. Investors are either scared or they don't know where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares profit with our investors. We've been doing it for 19 years, averaging double-digit returns with zero investor losses. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital and invest in our family of funds. From a 3-year investment with double-digit returns to only a 90-day commitment returning 7%. We also accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
With Progressive's Home Quote Explorer, you can easily find the right home insurance for you, even if it's not with Progressive. But if you don't choose us, then sure, okay, it's not going to work out. We're not going to cry about it or stay awake wondering what our future together would have looked like. We can't get emotionally invested even if it sounds like we are. Progressive's Home Quote Explorer allows you to easily compare home insurance rates and coverages in one place, even if it's not with us. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy. I love you. I shouldn't have said that.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine. and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
At Bank of America, we asked our people, how do you take ownership of your career?
I'm able to grow my way by putting the priorities that I have for my career first.
I thrive on being a leader who's behind the team, not in front of the team.
Every few years, I'm being re-energized because I get to do something different and learn something new.
See how our teammates are growing in their careers at bankofamerica.com/great place to work. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
Seattle Sports has your chance to win 4 tickets to the Seahawks game, Sunday, November 9th. Head to the Seattle Sports app, click the Win tab in the bottom right corner, and enter to win. You can enter once per day, so the more times you enter through the Seattle Sports app, the better your odds. Do it every day, October 28th through November 3rd. Details and rules at seattlesports.com/win. From the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
The Bump and Stacy Show is powered in part each day by the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Go to pendergastlaw.com.
Hey, Brock Heward here. For my friends at People Come First or PCF Construction Group, are you tired of just grilling in the cold and rain every winter in the Northwest? Well, with a patio cover, heater, and fireplace from PCF, you can enjoy your outdoor deck or patio all year long, staying warm and dry, even in the wintry months. And I have a special offer for you. PCF's Black Friday sale runs through November, and you can get up to 20% off your entire project, plus no payments and no interest until 2027. Most people don't consider building a deck in winter, but if you want yours ready by next spring and summer, then contact PCF right now to start planning. Spend the winter dreaming, designing, and improving your project so you're ready to build by the spring. Remember, planning and permits take time, so get started right now. Find all the offer details, get project ideas, and browse photos at pcfgroup.com or call 425-629-8476. That's 425-629-8476, pcfgroup.com.
Are you frustrated with those trendy weight loss shots and not getting the long-term results you really want? This is Dr. Ryan Coogan with Eastside Weight Loss, and whether you've hit a plateau, can't handle the side effects, or watch the pounds creep back after stopping, there's a better way. Our program has helped over 4,000 people lose up to 10 to 20% of their body weight in just 8 weeks without expensive injections or uncomfortable side effects. Our doctor-developed program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast. Ready for real lasting results? Visit eastsideweightlossclinic.com now to schedule your free consultation.
Did he just say Eastside Weight Loss Clinic is half the cost and works twice as fast as weight loss injections? It's true. Eastside Weight Loss Clinic is natural and it works. I was finding that my clothes didn't fit as well, so I jumped on the program. I lost 35 pounds in 60 days. It was very safe and a healthy plan.
Many clients lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two, and you can do our program remotely from anywhere you live. Schedule your free consultation at eastsideweightlossclinic.com. That's eastsideweightlossclinic.com.
Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Get your questions in for What I Need to Know, 866-979-3776. What I need to know. What
Sound
will
like
you...
slam poetry.
What I need to know. No, I can't.
What I need to know.
What I need to know. What will you do with the extra hour this Sunday when we fall back and gain an hour?
Oh, nice.
Get woken up an hour earlier by my children who don't acclimate to daylight savings well.
Nice. What am I going to do? I don't know. My body's still going to wake up at the same time. I got an internal clock. Nothing.
Yeah,
you know
nothing.
when this was clutch? I remember, I'll never forget this. It was a moment in my life that will live forever.
Okay.
I was in college, and we were partying so hard at a club, and we're like, dang, we don't want this night to end. And then we got the extra hour. We're like, yeah, let's go.
I mean, that would be magical.
We were so hyped. We were so hyped.
What I need to know. Why are so many people negative after a great performance? Cal hits 60 home runs. He'll never do that again. JSN's having a great season. He can't keep that up. Maybe they're great players and they're gonna get greater. Oh, okay. I thought that this person was saying, why is everyone being negative about the Mariners? But he's saying, or she is saying, why is everyone being so negative about great performances in general? So why are we automatically saying Cal can't hit 60 bombs again or JSN won't keep this up? Like, why can't we just leave open the possibility that JSN could break a record or that Cal could hit 60 again?
Because it's not likely.
Yeah.
So you don't want to get your hopes up.
I think that's a blunt answer.
Yeah. This is not likely.
It's just incredibly, it's statistically unlikely. It's not that they're not very capable players. It's not that they can't physically do it. They've already proven, Cal has already proven he can physically, and that he has the ability and the skill and the patience and everything that goes along with that. It's that, Curtis, what was it, 7 players ever all time?
Have hit 60-plus home runs?
In baseball history.
Yeah, and only two have ever done it twice.
And only 2 have done it, Cal and Aaron Judge, since Bonds. So it's more that it's just exceptionally rare. However, I will say about Cal, I've now raised a ceiling of what an average season could look like for him for sure.
I still think you take 30. You expect him to hit 30.
Oh, I think he can hit 50. 45.
Again? It's tough, man.
I think more than 40 is,
I think what he's
well within reach.
I think what he's done, that change from the right side, like those splits in terms of suddenly being an excellent hitter from both sides of the plate, that's pretty massive.
It's the torpedo bat, honestly.
Then it's the torpedo bat. I think 30 is now like a low bar for him.
Okay.
Hitting it is amazing. He'll typically lead catchers. He did lead catchers for 3 seasons, and that'll probably do it again. But I think 40, 45 can be absolutely achievable. 60, though? No. I don't think it's negativity. I think it's just...
It's reality.
Yeah. What about the JSN one, where they said, well, why can't JSN set the record? He's on pace to do it.
Oh, man. Because you feel like defenses are going to adjust. There's risk of injury. There's just a lot of things that could happen.
Yeah. Yeah. What I need to know. What do I do with my whole might as well go win the whole blanking thing shirt that my wife gave me for the playoffs? Do I wear it still?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That message still resonates next year and the year after that,
I think you
That should be
write
the goal.
in permanent marker next year on it.
It's a moment in time. People will read that and think
And
about
it was
that
funny.
moment.
Yeah. I think you hang on to it. What I need to know. Wait. Hang on. What I need to know. Here in the 808, my daughter attends the same school that Shohei's translator attended. More noticeably, Blue Jays second baseman Isaiah Kiner-Falefa also attended. As a Mariners fan feeling the pain, can I cheer for Kiner-Falefa, or do I just need to hold my stance and not cheer for anything Toronto?
Shut your mouth.
Yeah,
It's not your school. It's your daughter's
I think
school.
unfortunately
Don't
you
you
have
do
to
it.
root actively against him.
You don't do it.
I don't make the rules. That's just...
Don't do it. For a guy, I can honestly say, I have never cheered for anything LeBron James has done, and he plays for my team. I've never stood like, yeah! Never.
Never let go of that grudge.
I've never done it.
Ever. Although, Curtis, you made a good point in terms of hating Blue Jays versus Astros. Like, there are different levels of hate for certain organizations, and some of them, a paying debt is repaid.
Yeah, I want to see the Blue Jays lose in heartbreaking fashion, and once that debt is repaid,
we're
it's
square.
fine. Yeah.
No, that's how I see it too.
Yeah.
We're square after that. I'm not going to root for you, but...
Whereas with the Astros, I want to see them lose
Or
every
root
single
against
day.
you every single year.
Forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I need to know, if you were forced to drink milk for the rest of your life, would you opt for standard, chocolate, or strawberry? Who opts for strawberry?
Strawberry milk is
DK
bomb.
Metcalf, I guess?
Chocolate, number one.
Okay, if you had to finish 10 glasses of milk,
Yeah.
it would be the hardest to drink 10 glasses of strawberry milk.
For you.
I think 10 glasses of regular milk. That'd be
Regular
tough.
milk would be...
Milk in general is disgusting.
It
Let's
is
be
gross.
honest.
It is gross.
Who said, look at that cow over there. Look at that cow. You know what I'm going to do?
If you guys...
I'm going to drink the milk from that cow.
If you guys went on just to hang out with a friend and he ordered a glass of milk, would you say anything?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd be like, what
Are you
doing?
5? You want some cookies too? What are we doing?
I've never seen anyone order a glass of milk anywhere.
Didn't you tell a story about someone ordering a glass of milk?
No.
I told a story about someone ordering
What
a
was
glass
your
of milk.
story? What was the story?
So one of my best friends, their boyfriend at the time, the first time like our friend group ever met him, we met up for New Year's Day brunch, and he ordered a glass of milk.
That's weird. I'm
And
shocked he's
we
still
had-
friends with you guys.
No, I know. They're married now. Like,
What?
we have judged her about it.
Kicking off
So
the new
she
year.
just ignored
with some
that
2%.
red flag.
Yep. Red flag ignored. They're a wonderful couple. They have kids now, but not getting that relationship started on the right foot.
If I ever meet him, I'm saying
I would be
something to him.
texting you guys immediately. The thread would be lit up.
Oh, it was the only thing we talked about the rest of the day.
Isn't chocolate milk used in workout recovery?
I'm Ty Willingham. What?
That's right.
Had it for a minute for the Huskies. There was a period of time during that time in general when I don't know if it was like Big Milk trying to push it, but I remember reading like women's health articles about like chocolate milk is actually great for recovery. And then you're
Lies.
like, wait, that's horrible. There's a lot of
Lies.
fat and a lot of sugar.
Food pyramid. They lied to us.
Yeah. I mean,
Government be lying.
calcium and protein, important. There are so many other effective ways that you can get that. But I remember it was a thing.
Makes your bones strong.
Yeah, and it tastes good. I'm just imagining players after a hot practice in June just chugging chocolate milk. Oh, I can't believe she married him.
Milk mustache. That was an ad, right?
Yeah, got milk.
Got milk, yeah.
Isn't it weird that just milk, dairy had ads?
It's the government, man.
Well, it's not working now because look, we're judging this man we don't know. And not only judging him, but judging Matt's friend for marrying him.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad they have a happy family and that they're happy together. I just think that's frankly insane.
A little weird.
Yeah.
But it worked out.
Wyman and Bob coming up next.
You said Culver City's West Los Angeles.
West Los Angeles.
You know what the liveliest and trendiest part of Toronto is? West Side.
Hawks Live. Presented by the Dining District at the Bellevue Collection. Thursday nights from 7 to 9 p.m. Live from Bellevue Square Center Court. Come on by and join hosts Michael Bumpus and Paul Moyer and a different Seahawks player every week.
This should be fun.
Hawks Live. Thursday nights from 7 to 9 p.m. Exclusively on the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Superior Linen Service will help your company with logoed apparel, uniforms, floor mats, linen, and more. Give us a call. We answer the phone. Superior Linen Service. It's what we do. Visit suplinen.com.
Hey, baseball fans, Rick Riz here. I'm excited to introduce you to my good friend Keith Jeffri, owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Keith?
Thanks, Rick. Just like our favorite baseball team, Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington is stepping up to the plate. Mention Go Seattle when you book, and you'll knock it out of the park with 15% off and 12 months, no payments, and no interest. Schedule today before this deal is gone.
That's fantastic, Keith. Don't wait. Schedule your free appointment today at PellaPNW.com.
What if you had the smartest Wi-Fi? If you did, it'd be Xfinity, of course, and it'd come with their best state-of-the-art equipment. It would boost speeds to the devices that need it the most, prioritizing your most important connections, whether you were streaming, gaming, or gaming while pretending to work. And it would let you stream 4. That's right, 4 games on one screen. It would even power your mobile connection so you could bring faster, secure Wi-Fi speeds with you where you use it most. It would be proactive and fix problems before you knew you had them. Impressive, right? And it would have security features that protect you from threats at home and online. Kind of like a force field for your life. If you had the smartest Wi-Fi, well, everything would work together seamlessly to keep you connected, no matter what. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply.
Why is K2 Vision RLE a permanent solution to glasses, contacts, and readers? How is it that you'll never develop a cataract after K2 Vision RLE? And how is RLE different from LASIK?
Hey, it's Doctors King and Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. We'll answer those questions and others when you join us for our free live webinar this Thursday at noon. Andy, what are some of the other questions you hear?
Well, how long is the procedure and recovery? Or who's a good candidate for RLE?
And we'll also answer how much does RLE cost? Is there financing available? Does insurance pay for RLE?
Find out how K2 Vision RLE is the permanent solution to glasses, contacts, and readers.
And cataracts too.
Right, no more cataracts.
K2 Vision's free live webinar this Thursday at noon. Space will be limited, so register now at k2visionrle.com.
Join us at our free live webinar this Thursday at noon. Sign up at k2visionrle.com.
Tune in Sunday, November 2nd, when the Seahawks take on Washington. Kickoff at 5:20 p.m. Muckleshoot Casino Resort, proud sponsor of the Seattle Seahawks and the biggest and best in the Pacific Northwest.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus